10. Okay, check the website. Check it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 3-year anniversary of Street Apologists Live. But I don't have all of my fancy sound effects today because we're coming at you through Zoom. Why are we coming at you through Zoom? I'm going to tell you right now in the live chat. We're coming at you through Zoom because we want you to be able to join us. That's right. We're taking a big chance here. Big risk, people. We are going to let anyone with the link come on into the room with us this day. So I'm about to drop the link right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to drop the link here. Nate, I'm having trouble. Can one of you guys drop the link? We've already got some people in the room, and here's tonight's plan. Everybody can come on in the room, the Zoom room, which can fit, I think, up to like 100 people or something like that. And then if you come, you won't be kicked out. You can have a chance to talk. You just got to be a halfway decent person, I guess you might say. And you're all good. But I'm working on dropping the link right now. So the beginning of this is not going to be ideal because I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble dropping the link, guys. Okay, looks like the video's working. Looks like that's working. It's just going to be one of those kinds of shows, though. Okay, polling sensitive show. Yeah, could you guys help with dropping the link because I'm having trouble dropping the link. I'm going to try one other place to do this. Okay, Nate and D New, come on in. You are in the beginning of the 3-year anniversary party of Street Apologists Live. How y'all doing? Unmute yourselves. Come on in.
Hey, everyone. Happy 3-year anniversary, Street Apologists.
That's right. This one's very different. We're simply having the room open for every person on the internet. And then what's happening is people can come in and tell me/us what they like, what they don't like about Street Apologists Live. And they also can tell us what to do this time. They can say, here's what I would like you to do, Vocab or D-New or Nate. Here's what and we'll react, however, as the Spirit leads.
As the Spirit of the Lord.
Yeah. And it's super late. It is 12:30 on the East Coast. So I don't predict we're going to get a ton of people in there. But Nate or D-New, do you guys have the link? I'm having trouble isolating it. And so I haven't put it in there yet. Do you guys have the link, though? Because
I'm
trying to get it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have one already. Everyone show your camera. Unless you have a special reason why you think you can't, then you can ask, and I'll say, okay. Lamari, I'm making you a panelist right now, so it might be a second before you come in. There you are. You are the 4th person. Before long, the screen could be filled up or not. We really don't even know, but here you are. How's it going, Lamari? Let's see. Unmute yourself.
It's going well.
All right. So you're joining us for our 3-year anniversary party, and you can say what?
And I'm joining from the East Coast.
So you're late. You're a night owl, huh?
Yeah, I am.
I think you might need to turn down your computer a little bit, though. Do you have headphones or something? Because I feel like I got a little bit of feedback from you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm washing. That's also why my camera is off. I'm doing a lot. So I'm listening.
You're multitasking. Okay.
I do want to say that I started listening to you because I had to write a paper about something, and I chose the Black Hebrew Israelites. And I read your book as well, and it's just been really helpful. So I'm just here to listen and enjoy.
Oh, praise God. So how's your paper coming along?
It's good. I submitted it and everything. I opted out of the feedback portion from the professor.
Mm-hmm.
I passed. I got a good grade. So we thank God.
Well, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what any particular reason you wanted to do that paper on that topic?
Yeah, a lot of different reasons. I think one, first and foremost, someone that is close to me, dear to my heart, converted.
Okay.
Secondly, a lot of young women have came up to me for advice because of men that they're talking to or that they meet or that they're dating that are a part of that organization. So I'm usually before my, I would just be like, nah, stop talking to him, run, that type of thing. And maybe I still feel that way, but now I have more understanding
Mhm.
and also understanding, just, understanding of what the organization is about and also biblical understanding.
Good.
Which, yeah. So I think for me, it was more than a paper. And
Mhm.
I still want to learn more because just looking at the videos and stuff of these organizations, they seem to be growing, and I'm listening
Mhm.
to the way that people in our culture talk, and they say a lot of things that sound like that,
Yeah.
even if they're not a part of that organization. So I just think for life and for ministry and where I think God is leading me in the urban sphere, I guess, I want to continue to learn. So yeah.
That's good. Well, it sounds like you are influential in some younger people's lives. So because they're coming to you for advice. So it sounds
Mhm.
like you've got their ear. So they must trust your wisdom. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm a youth pastor.
Okay. All right. Well, now, when you were writing your paper, because today is a 3-year anniversary and we're just having anyone who wants to come join us. Was there stuff you wish that we would have covered on here? Because maybe we can still get to it. Because what we're letting people do is say what you want us to do in the future, what you don't like, what you do like.
Oh, that's good. There were a couple of things I think
Yeah.
that I kind of wanted to zone in on.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
You
And
don't
I
remember
wish,
though right now?
yeah, I wish I was more prepared right now, but maybe I could send an email or something as I go over it. But I do remember having questions and even starting to write about some things. And
Mm-hmm.
then I stopped because I was like, I don't have enough information to go into certain things. Yeah, I don't have anything right now specifically,
Okay.
but yeah.
So I'd love to see part of this paper. If you got this paper done, we'd like to see this thing.
Okay, I think I can make that happen. Oh, I also got in touch with one of your guests and had Zoom calls with him and interviewed him and things like that.
Oh wow! So you went above and
Mhm.
beyond. Well, that's good to hear. That's great. Well, that's good because we go live. We're on YouTube, but we partially just. I mean, it's like with it's a perfect example. It's very practical for people in their lives, and we want to be a resource and hopefully make it biblical and engaging along the way. And that's good. So I'm glad you joined in and gave some food for thought. Now check it out. The way we're doing this, and I know you said you're cleaning this. People can stay the whole night if they want, but they don't have to feel guilty. They can also leave. There's no one has to. You don't have to. So like people at this point, we're allowing anybody to have freedom to come in and unmute themselves, do whatever they want, stick around, whatever. Because who knows who else we're going to get here. So I just dropped the link in the live chat, everybody. And I'm going to put it in a couple other places online. And so you can come in. So my thought is maybe Nate or D New, you guys want to introduce yourself? I don't know if you've seen Lynn Marie around. Is that how you say it? Lynn Marie? Lynn Marie? Lynn Marie.
It's Len Marie, yeah.
Lynn Marie. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I should have. Okay. But I got Lynn Marie. Okay.
Hey, Lynn Marie, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. So do you catch a lot of shows? Do you come into the live chat and interact at all?
I don't catch a lot of shows. The first show that I caught was the one talking about Appa Bivens. And I didn't share what that was or who that was. And then I just went into like a deep, I don't want to say a rabbit hole because it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was my first one. I think it came in 2 parts. And then I started just looking at old videos. So I mostly just look at videos that past videos.
Okay, that's cool. The rabbit hole is not a bad thing. You just have to watch the right videos, right? But
Right.
Yeah, just if you get a chance, I know you sound like you're busy, but if you get a chance and you do catch some live shows, please come into the chat and make yourself known. We want to say hi to you and make sure that you feel welcome.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I mean, I also do read the chat because it gets pretty interesting.
It does.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
it really does.
Do you want to tell us your username?
I'm sorry.
You want to tell us your username so we can recognize you?
Oh, I don't even know. I'm one of those people. I'm gonna come on camera really quick so you guys can see. So I can say hi.
Oh,
Hey.
hey. What's going on? How you doing?
Good. I know I look crazy. That's why I didn't want to. But yeah,
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, she's nice.
I think my name is the chat, so I
Oh.
don't think it's like a special.
You mean just
I
like
think
Lynn
so.
Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
We'll remember you.
Oh, good.
But you
Yeah,
gotta, but you gotta say something because otherwise we don't know you're there though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'll say hi.
You gotta say
Don't
like,
stay in the bushes. Do not stay in the bushes.
you gotta say, you know, hey Lynn Marie, remember I wrote the paper. I mean, you don't have to say all that. I'm just saying, make yourself known. Otherwise, we don't. You're an invisible watcher. Otherwise.
Okay. I'll make myself known.
All right. I'm glad she
Okay.
joined. I'm glad you joined. I'm glad you said something. It's great to meet you.
Great to meet you all as well.
I wish I had all the sound effects. I'd be like, but don't have sound effects today. So, but we do have the live chat. Now, check this out. If you're watching this, you can feel free to come on in and you can say anything, what you would like us to do, what you don't want us to do, what you like, what you don't like. This is the time where we got to listen for a little while to you at least. And then we'll find out if you act crazy, you know, we'll remove you, but hopefully you don't act crazy, whatever. And if you want to come on and tell me why you don't want to show face, I'll listen. If it makes sense, it's okay. But if you're just trying to be secretive and shady, that's different. So if you just say, hey, I don't want to do the camera, I'm cleaning, like she did, for example, that's cool. Okay, just let us know and we'll see what's up. Because I got the co-hosts here and they got power and control and they can make stuff happen. That was pretty cool, right? So she must be in the either on Patreon or on the Facebook group to have been there here this soon, huh?
Yeah, to get the notification or or the squad up group, right?
Yeah. So she's on one of the, because she came in right away. So that means she's kind of already been around. We just didn't know. Well, I'm glad we got to meet her though. That's cool. Alejandro's coming in and she says Patreon. Okay, awesome. Awesome, man. That means I should have met you already sooner. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing my job. San Miguel TV and Alejandro are coming in. And I want to real quick look at the live chat and say, Alejandro, thank you for saying happy 3-year anniversary. This time I can't put comments on the screen like I could before, but I read them out and they're right there in the live chat. So everyone check out the live chat. And I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. Phil Fox. He says, thank you, Vocab and SA Crew and Mod Squad. I've learned a ton from your ministry, brother. I would love to come and hang out, but I have to work in the morning. Love you. Hey, that's all right, brother. We got your back. And let me just look at, he's a great guy. I mean, he's famous in his own right now. He's all over the internet himself. You know, he's kind of moved past me, but I'm just glad he's here.
Things happen. He's making things happen.
Alex Medina says, I can't stay for long because I have some important things to do, but I still have notifications on and just wanted to congratulate you. Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. And Roxby's there. Roxby, if you come on, you don't have to, you have special privileges. You don't have to, do nothing. Even just being here, we would like, you know what I'm saying? Valley 56 says young people need guidance. That's true. Kaylee Danielle Marie says, I love this channel. Please make more Black Hebrews Light videos that are less than 2 hours long, though. Someone wants me to talk about young earth creationism, which I've done a few videos on, but we have to drop some links on that. But I need to get guests on really for that. And
we are doing shows less than 2 hours. We're shooting for 1.5. So check.
Yeah, but yeah. But if you hit me up, the person who said that, Creationism R, I actually have some stuff that you might be interested in that we have done, but I do want to do some more stuff on that. So I feel you. But then we also got Carmen here. Shout out to Carmen as well. And then we have Seventh Day Calvinist. Oh, are you all celebrating because Italy won the Euro? Congrats on the 3. Hey, well, that's exactly. I mean, this is not accidental. Do you see what I have, people?
I thought it was a Mexican flag at first.
Our green is brighter than your green.
I know.
Yeah. And the blue gives it away because that's the soccer color jersey. Although I'm front and I don't really know anything about it. In fact, I'm so dumb that a lot of the things I follow are on the East Coast, like these New York things that say, watch the game here at this bar or something, but they're in New York. So I was going to go out to a local spot with my friend, this place called Vinny's. And he's like, hey, what time? I come over at 3. It starts at 3. We'll get there, whatever. And he comes and right when right when we're about to meet up, I'm about to walk out the door. I get a text and someone says, hey, congrats, Italy won. And I say, what? I'm on my way to the match to watch it. What do you mean? And I looked and I was like, oh, the game started at 3:00 East Coast time. So I took my nap during the game and didn't see in it, but I got this and I all dressed up with no place to go. So him and I watched the highlights at my house instead. But hey, what's up, Alejandro? How you doing, bro? What do you like or dislike about this enterprise you've undertaken for 3 years now?
I'm gonna say I love everything. I've been really liking lately. You seems like you're having more fun with the live videos. During the night, you're like singing and I want more of that, please.
More singing. You might be the only person who's folks like singing and stuff. Yeah. All right. Hey, well, I'm glad if it makes you happy. I'm with it, bro. All right.
Add more rapping.
Yes, true. But I have adopted because see, I'm starting to feel like these freestyles at the end, it doesn't always fit. I have a guest on and we're talking professional stuff or something and then I'm rapping and then it's stuck on the show, but it's like this rap in the moment. And I didn't like it being stuck there anymore. So no. But what I've been doing is playing the outro, then coming back and doing the freestyles after the outro. Then I go and edit out that part of the show. Now, Nate probably doesn't like it. So it's gone. But here's one thing that's good about it. It's an incentive for people who like that to watch it live. Because if they don't watch it live or immediately within the first 2 hours,
you got to stay up until 2 a.m. to watch the freestyles.
Or
exactly.
5. Sometimes 5 or yeah.
Exactly, man. Hey, what's up, San Miguel TV? What do you want us to do different besides become atheists? Just kidding, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing out there?
Man, you're up late too, bro, but it's all right. We're glad to hear your voice.
Yeah. Can you see me? There you go.
Hey, man, you just need some gold fringes on that and you have IUIC bed.
I know, right? Sorry for the mess there.
Your bed is spiritual, bro. It's keeping the law. It's keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right. That'd be cool, though. Get some fringes on the bed sheets.
There's some Hebrew Israelite who has fringes on his bed.
I'm sure there are, man. I actually just came across a new group. I wanted to see if you ever heard of Watchmen for Israel.
Yeah, they're in the Midwest, right? Aren't they more in the Midwest?
I've seen them downtown Orlando.
Oh, you have? Well, the ones I've seen, I think, are in Midwest. Like, I'm trying to say where was it, Detroit or whatever, but downtown Orlando. Okay, I think there's more than one chapter of them. I think.
Yeah, I see them also in DC. They're usually like by this port in DC, like outdoors, by the seaport or something.
What do you think about them?
Man, they remind me of Sakari, GMS. They cursed me out, They was asking me who sent me. I'm surprised they didn't recognize me because they actually sent me an email not too long ago to do a debate.
Really?
Yeah. So I actually been searching for them, and I saw that they go downtown by Lake Eola every Saturday or Friday night, and they're not much different from this.
This group, San Miguel, I remember, so I'm not super familiar with it, but I've looked at their channel before. And I remember the same thing I'm thinking right now when I looked at their channel. I was surprised that they have only been around 10 months on their channel, right? But they already have 16,000 subscribers. And 10 months, that's not bad for a Hebrew Israelite channel. So that was one thing that kind of was like, whoa, how'd they, that's kind of quick, Yeah, but looking like Sakari and GMS, they've that's the worst strand of One Westism there is. We don't really need any more of those kind of groups, to be honest.
He's frozen.
Oh, San Miguel TV is frozen. Yeah, I can imagine Hebrews Light with the gold fringes on their bed. And they're like, when me and my ribs know each other. It's different because the fringes keep it holy.
It's a terrible visual. Thank you.
One rib at a time. Oh, who knows? You know, when I first met GMS, they were like so crass. I remember we were talking about the virgin birth, and like they were going to these verses and passages, and I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense because women don't have seed. It's not described usually as the woman's seed. And the guy is like, oh, he's saying such and such and then the guy said, yeah, they do when a man has his rod up in her. I was like, what the heck? Sorry, this is what they really said. This is my first time with them. This is what they said to me. And I was like, what an odd, like, super odd. First of all, that's odd slang to me, right? Mm-hmm. But I noticed it's a GMS specific thing. They love to say rod. And they said that, and they're like, that's what, they started talking about basically my mom having that. And it's just like, I was like, okay. I'll never forget.
Still not her seed. It's your seed.
Yeah, I'll never forget that though. But that was interesting. They thought it was so funny when they said it too. They were like all laughing. I was like, you guys, what is this? Because this is the first time I was dealing with them face to face in that way. Okay, so I've dropped the link in the live chat. And let's go back and look at what the live chat's saying. And Nate and anyone else in the room, you can call out anything that we should say from the live chat, and that's all good. Let's see. Fringes are quite a normal part of dressing here in my country, but now every time I see someone with one, I can't help thinking BHI. Yeah. It's like there are people who kind of have like fringes like part of their thing, like a lot of motorcycle riders, they have the fringes on their leather jackets, for example. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of the old cowboys, like some of their outfits, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cheerleaders.
Yeah. Oh, cheerleader. Yeah, good one. Mm-hmm. Real Android says, what do we have to do to get some more boom boom room?
Oh, yes.
You have to talk to David Wood, to be honest, because you can't really do it without David making it happen. And he's like doing some other stuff and this and that. And he has this different way he wants to do it and this and that. And so, I'll put it this way. The Dynamite pack is a lot tighter than it used to be, but I can still wear that outfit. And so, it's like, yo, what's up, David? Come on, man. You coming in or what? So you got to convince David. Carm says, yes, more singing and add dancing.
The dancing has been a long time request, by the way.
It'll all be horrible if it has.
Please.
There is a choreographed routine waiting, just so you know.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Jerome Stubbs says, thank you for all the work you put in for the Faith of the Vocab. I know some folks swept up in BHI. Roxby says she's going to stay in the live chat. Apparently, Cryptic J disagrees with young earth creationism. And what else we got in here? Somebody said Jay Dyer fanboys were coming in here, but I only saw a few. I didn't see that many. Yeah. Maybe somebody wants to come in and tell me why I should or shouldn't talk about Eastern Orthodoxy. Man, that's been weird. It's like you just talk about. You think I should? Why? Like, I didn't think this was going to be such a thing when I just did a live stream or two on it. I didn't think it was
that's
going to
the
be.
reason why he should, because it's a thing now.
I don't know. I guess on one hand, I know I can't focus on it hardcore like that, but at the other hand, the way a lot of these ortho people have been acting online makes me want to do it some more,
Exactly.
The comments, have you got the comments on these videos?
Non-stop. I'm reading. I'm like, oh my God, look at this.
There's apparently a whole subculture or something that I wasn't aware of. That's pretty intense.
It's like a team. It's like an EO team.
Yeah, look, if I share my screen, I wonder if you guys, how do I do this? I forgot how to. Let me try to share a screen. Let's see if we can look at some Can I thought I could do it. Did I make the settings where I can't? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. No. Mute, stop, choose. Huh. Can you guys share your screen? Can anyone share their screen? The controls for it are not present.
I think I can, but I don't want to press it. It's at the bottom.
Yeah. Where is it? What do you see? I see mute, stop video, participants chat, share screen.
Yeah.
Yes, that. How did I? Okay, whatever. Just forget about it. Okay, all right. Let's see here. But does it? Let's see what it does here.
Okay.
It's good.
But I'm trying to share. I'm trying to show. Is it? Also, it's showing the whole video, right?
It's showing going Orthodox. You have to renounce everybody.
Okay. Is it sharing it like where it's just on my little thing, or is it big enough where everyone could see it?
Everyone can see it. It's showing your video lytics too on the side.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever about that. All right. Check out. Let's look at some of these since we're waiting on people to come in anyway. Let's find out let's look at the top ones. Let's look at the top ones. Okay. All right. Let's see what's top. Okay. Don't shut. I'm sorry, but how can someone who claims theology? I'm sorry, but how can someone who claims theology not understand the Philoque? If you don't know if you don't know who God is in the Trinity, then what hope do you have to understand his interactions with his creation? This is theology proper. It's what the councils were all about. It's why the creed is so important. Just
you don't know anything. You don't know anything, vocab, because you don't agree with them.
Yeah, but it's like you're hopeless unless you agree with our particular distinctive, because then you can't even understand God and what it's hopeless. If you attack orthodoxy, why you refuse to debate with Jay Dyer? All I said is not right now, but this doesn't help me make me think it'd be a good idea. But it's weird. It's like some people are aligned with the idea that he's essentially the gatekeeper of orthodoxy on the internet. But I know other Orthodox I've been met since then that are like, no, he's not really the best representative of what we want to look like. So not everyone agrees that, it's required to debate Jay Dyer if you talk about orthodoxy. I think it's a silly thing, but that's kind of the way they seem like it is.
Maybe that's why they want you to debate him, because they just want the kind of show that he might be able to present.
Yeah. I became Orthodox when I actually started to listen to what the Orthodox priests and monks say about their faith. Until then, vocab would just keep shadowboxing his own misconceptions and assumptions about Orthodox Christianity. I hear what they're saying, but a lot of what I did was play clips with them and read their books. So I don't see how it was. They make it seem like I was strawmanning or just reporting what they say, but wasn't I showing what they say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's weird. The firmamentalist, that makes me think he's a flat earther. Samuel Davis, this is very hard to watch. This is an example how doing internet searches on the Orthodox Church faith and tradition can lead you to misinformed internet personalities.
That's beautiful.
Look at the responses, though. Only a blind demon would tell you to reject the church Christ built, not an invisible church. The Apostolic Orthodox Church came to us with the physical body, and he left us with a physical church. A blind demon. That's like something the Hebrew Israelite would say. Everyone has their own cult following and philosophy on the internet. These are great. These are great. Check this out. So I asked the guy, I was like, how is it messed up? Because I'm reading from their sources, and like he didn't answer, but look who answered though. I want to show you this real quick. Where'd it go? Hold on. Let me show you this. This person answered, man, there's like 50 comments on one comment. Okay. Where'd it go? Well, they came on and said, okay, here it is right here. Well, check this out. They tell me, do you look, Joshua McElroy, vocab alone, you know, you're talking to a priest, right? And I was like, where's Alazar? Where's Alazar? Right? But I put like, are you being serious? Because I didn't know they were serious. And I thought they were talking about themselves, right? And like, no, yes, sir. Father Samuel was a priest of a mission in New Jersey. So apparently the guy who left the initial comment, right?
Mhm.
And I put, I only recognize one priest, right? And then, you know, there's this whole thing underneath it. But it's amazing, like, just like, yo, like, and this is what I want to comment. Let's see here.
This is like a team, like the team and then the cheerleaders.
Everybody's intelligent in their own little echo chambers. Check this out, bruh. Do you even understand the difference between sending and procession? Orthodox Church do affirm that Son sends Holy Spirit to the world of faithful. They don't believe that Holy Spirit proceeds from the Son. He gets his hypostasis and ousia from the person of the Father alone. But Son also sends him to the world. These are two separate things. Procession is not sending. It is related to Holy Spirit's hypostasis and ousia, which is from the Father alone. Read Church Fathers and Councils. It's just the way these things are worded and how they're so dedicated to the minutia of their distinctives.
Mhm.
And then the good side of this video is that followers of this channel may get curious and do their own search into the church. Literally, this is the same thing Hebrew Israelites say, right? He's
No,
promoting the truth.
I'm
right?
not. I'm just gonna keep on watching the videos. That's it.
Hey,
These
hey, check-
videos.
Hey, first, let's check this one. This is one of the most low IQ critiques of Orthodoxy you've ever heard. You know what's so funny about this, though? They put low UK instead of, or UQ instead of
Yeah.
IQ. I don't know. This is just like amazing. I'm just like, gosh,
How many comments
mean-
are under this total?
like 500, right?
Wow.
This is actually one of my favorite comments. So pretty much what we got from this guy was, this is weird. I don't like it. I kind of thought that was a funny comment. Is there what, 500? Can you guys see?
Let me see.
Oh my goodness.
Looks like this is the way to get engagement on your videos.
Yeah. Invite Jay Dyer and let's see how things go and what we ordinarily people learn from you bright people. How much preparation did you do before making this video?
Damn.
The fact that all the counter arguments are this poor is why I became Orthodox. That's not a good reason to become Orthodox, by the way. I'm responding based off your title. This is not true. I don't have to renounce everybody. I mean, the title was a little tongue in cheek. It says you have to renounce everybody. It doesn't really mean that. Okay. But I mean, it's a title.
It's
I
a
thought it was
title,
funny. Someone was like, what's everybody?
Yeah, you're right. It has 528 comments so far.
Stop this nonsense. At least have an Orthodox apologist. Even your own fan base thinks this is pitiful. Josiah, yeah, we renounce all heresy. Sending does not equal procession. It's not that hard. Oh man. I don't know. Like, sorry, vocab. You clearly don't know what you're talking about here. Your arguments aren't arguments, just prejudice. Just go back to criticizing Islam or something that suits you more.
You're about to do a whole bunch of more videos.
Yes.
This is what this is going to produce.
I don't like it. Jesus, debate Jay already. Vocab, I'd take down this video. This is embarrassing coming from you. I'm just warning you now because many will refute this argumentation, and I don't want to see you lose credibility in other subjects of apologetics. You know what? I'm glad they have my best interest in mind. Nathaniel, if you actually try to look into Orthodox, honestly, you'll become Orthodox. Oh, and oh my goodness, in 2,000 years, we have never dealt with this.
What?
He's eating thrown out like these old critiques, these 2,000-year-old criticisms of our church that's been here 2,000 years. You know, have you ever seen some of the Orthodox priests? They literally have like these giant bling on, like big fat gold chains.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first Christians are walking around with all this bling on, you know. I don't know. It's just funny because it's like, really? They're not
And that those ornate wardrobe selections.
yeah, with pictures all over them. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But don't tell us goes back to the early church, because you know what they say? The early church is here and you can join it. They literally say that.
I was gonna say, vocab there. I know it's different from the Roman Catholic Church, but it's like similar in certain ways because they're always coming back to like we're the original church. Sounds like a lot of the same rhetoric that the Roman Catholic Church always says. I mean, that's what I have a relative that does the same thing. They're always preaching to me, saying that why would you leave the original church that Christ left? And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, the arguments, you know, they both are kind of making a similar grandiose claim. Debate Jay Dyer, you coward. Well, a lot of this is stick to your lane on Hebrew Israelites. Oh man. I like this person. Everybody here asking vocab to debate Jay Dyer. The Bible has already refuted Dyer. The person,
yeah.
That person's funny.
That's gold stars. 10 gold stars for that comment.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to. I want to turn the show into that, but okay. I just wanted to at least see what someone would say. Lynn Marie, are you finished with the full book? She asks, or I guess your dissertation. Well, I was doing something like a dissertation when I was at seminary, but then that was almost, I don't know how many years ago at this point. Oh my goodness, 3 years ago at this point. So I wasn't doing a dissertation anymore, but yes, working on a second and third book. And so the past 2 months, I have not done very much work on them. So it's not finished, but if I can just carve away the right amount of chunk of time, we will get finished. One on contextualized apologetics, one on the gospel in a kind of city urban context, and then a more in-depth one on Hebrew Israelism. At least that's what's going on. But the problem is I'm always on the internet. That's the problem. Okay, do we need to put this anywhere else to get some more people in here? Because we got people in the live chat, but less people coming into the room than I thought.
Someone share the link to the Christian Hebrew Israelite group.
Oh, right on. Yeah, you never know. It is late, and that's my fault, guys. There was an Orthodox Christian podcast, and they asked me to be on, and they're cool guys I knew from back in the day, so we didn't do like a debate. We just had a good conversation, and I forgot that I had it until I checked my phone, and I said, oh. So I was going to do this earlier, but it ended up being on top of the time I was going to do it. So that's why it ended up being another one of the late night ones. Sorry.
How did that go? The podcast? No problem.
That was good because they were cool. Like we kind of had a mutual thing where they did Christian hip hop back in the day. And then we kind of knew each other mutually from that. And so we had a mutual respect. And their podcast is more chill. And then a lot of the people that used to do Christian hip hop with us, actually, a lot of them have walked away from Christianity as a whole. So those two brothers converting to Eastern Orthodoxy is less of a change from where they were to everyone else leaving Christianity at all, because a lot of the hip hop artists that they stay in contact with have. So our differences aren't as big as compared to our kind of former circle. So we had a good discussion. We talked about hip hop, Hebrew Israelism. Their show's called Beer, Beards, and Shipwrecks. So they talked a little bit about beer and beards. And you guys know Alberto, Urban Apologetics. He hung out with me and did it a little bit. So that was cool. And yeah, it's pretty chill. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should ever do this again where we maybe it planned in ahead and a more planning ahead and a more let people in like this?
Yeah.
Because this is what do you think? Dinu? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that if we have more maybe promo or advance notice, I think that this would be good. can kind of be like a cousin to a smoke room type of thing.
Mhm.
Yes.
I can see that.
And I love being here with my brother Nate and Dinu. It's awesome.
I agree.
I love them. I love you guys.
They're
Love
good
you
people.
too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Looks like you've got the African plains in your background.
Yes, I do. Kenya.
Yes, I was right.
And I've been there. I've been there several times.
Kenya?
Yes, I love it. I love Kenya.
What'd you like about it?
The weather, the different the culture is like different tribes. They're the majority. And you know what? Race relations is pretty awesome over there.
Really?
Pretty awesome. Compared to here, it's pretty awesome. It's like almost night and day. Yeah. It's mostly Christian.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've heard there's a lot of Christians there.
Yeah, it's probably about close to 90% Christian. And then you have a lot of different ethnicities, like people that are from China, or they've been living there for maybe a generation or two. And then you have a lot of Arabs. I think they've been there for some generation, several.
People
Indians.
from China.
China, yeah. And then Indians and Arabs, and also I
All
think
the
they
ones
got a
going,
lot of-
all the people going into slavery,
yeah,
according to the Hebrew Israelites.
yeah. Including the yeah, exactly. Even the Kenyans, right? Because they believe that they're
Hamites, yeah.
and then they got a lot of refugees from Somalia. So the tension out there would be more between the Christians and the Muslims. There's some tension there,
Right.
and there's been some terrorist attacks in Kenya, and they're pretty tough on all that stuff. But it's a beautiful country.
I know some folks that did mission trips there, and they had some cool stories. They more spent time with the pastoralists, like essentially like shepherds and herders who were trying to learn how to become more farmers.
Oh,
And
wow.
So they were talking to like some of those folks. Pretty interesting. We've got Paulie who just joined. Welcome to the 3-year anniversary. What do you like and dislike? What do you want us to do and not do? Well, Paulie, we can't hear you if you're talking to us.
This is Polly Dub from the live chats. You know that name.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I do. Yes, I do. And since we can't hear Paulie, I don't know what's going on with that. Joe, what do you like about Street Apologist Live? What do you dislike? What do you want us to do and not do? By the way, anybody can take this link and share it at this point in the night. Anybody can put it wherever because people can come on in. There you go, Paulie. What's up? We got a visual. What's up? Neither of you guys can talk?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Who is this?
This is Joe.
How you doing, Joe? It's good
good.
to see you on our 3-year anniversary. What's going on?
Hey, well, God bless you. I appreciate all the work that you do and kind of the inspiration. It takes a lot of guts to do what you do. Can you hear me or see me?
Mm-hmm. I can't see you, but we can hear you. You got to make sure you.
I'm in San Francisco. This is 16th and Mission right now. Let me see if I can get it to go for you.
You just got to hit start video. You have a little thing that says start video. Sounds like Paulie's cracking open a drink.
I was. Thank you. Okay. I didn't have my mic on the right setting. That was my fault. My phone.
That's all right. We know you exist now.
Yeah. No,
But
I'm
Joe,
there.
Copy
Real person.
streaming link.
Say what, Joe?
Adrenaline. Let's see.
Well, you hit the start video
There it
button.
is. There it is.
You got to make sure a camera lets you. So you're you're in San Francisco hanging out in the street at 10 o'clock?
No, I come out here. We come out here regularly and preach down here. We, in fact, right here, this corner right here. I wish I could get it to go for you.
So do you just get done street preaching tonight or what?
We do. Not at night. I don't come out this late at night. There's nothing but trouble out here right now. But we preach out here on the corners. The Hebrew Israelites are out here on this corner, 16th and Mission, and they're downtown. This is San Francisco. So what am I supposed? It says stay as attendee or join as a panelist.
Oh, you got to join as a panelist to share your camera.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to say, yeah, oh, there you go. You should be good now if you can do it. That's cool. You're involved with street evangelism. Praise God. Hello, hello, hello.
He muted himself.
Well, Paulie, what about you? What are you drinking? Are you allowed to tell us?
A ginger ale. Nothing scandalous.
My dad loves ginger ale. And as a kid, whenever I'd be like, hey, can I,
Everybody says that with me. You drink ginger ale? It's like, what are you, sick? I'm like, no, I'm not sick.
Well, no, Dad. That's all he drinks, especially if he's gonna eat pizza, ginger ale. Whenever I try to drink it when it first opens, every time it makes me cough because I go like this and somehow the bubbles like
you get that extra fizz
in my nose. But it only does it with ginger ale. I don't know why. Every time I'll try to prevent it and be like, let me try to. It always makes me go, ooh, I have to put it down real quick. And then by the third time I can get it.
Oh,
so I guess
I'm glad you guys are doing an anniversary stream. I just want to pop in. Like, I was like, oh, for real? Like I can pop in and like actually like thank Vocab for all his work, man. It takes some nerve, man. It takes some moxie to do what you do, like street evangelism, approaching Hebrew Israelites in the way that you do, respectfully and staying respectful despite some of the things that happened. A lot of Hebrew Israelites doing their thing where I live, East Coast. But man, I've talked to Jews for Jesus. I've talked to Mormons, anybody doing their thing. And the only ones who don't want to talk because I'm white are the Hebrew Israelites. They don't want to have that discussion. Whatever. It is what it is. You can learn a lot by watching, IUIC videos and what have you. I think it's important to go hear it from them directly, not just the criticism, but then the criticism is important because I don't know, the amount of people that said that they've been algorithmed into IUIC, algorithmed into GMS. And it's, you can be guided astray, it's, so you're doing what you do. And of course, Dinu and Nate, great job doing mods. It's
thank you.
I mean, that's crucial to a good channel, and you guys do a great job. Yeah. So
agreed, 100%.
It's good to hear your nice radio voice, Paulie Dub.
Well, thank you. The one thing that was interesting that you do, Vocab, you did an interview with an NOI member. Historically interested in NOI for a good while. I think it started when I read Autobiography of Malcolm X, and it's like, oh, this is far too interesting. And I'll look into the background, W.D. Farad, et cetera, Noble Drew Ali's backgrounds and associations and stuff. And it's interesting that you and Abu and so on touch on all that. There's multiple things germinated off of a small number of movements back in the day. And it's interesting to touch on all that. And I'm glad you do.
Yeah. I wish I could just always do everything because I care about it as a Christian, like spiritually, but also a lot of it's all just fascinating and interesting too. I enjoy learning and trying to understand and all that kind of stuff. So I agree. And I like to try to do more stuff like that, I like when they reach out to me and say, yeah, I'll come on and da-da-da. And it's pretty chill. So that the NOI guy, I thought that was pretty chill. I thought that was good. I would do that more with Hebrew Israelites if more were chill like that. We could just be like, have good conversations that aren't all stressful.
Now, you did mention one time, and I wanted to ask you that you have certain people reaching out, ex-members of whatever, One West Camp, what have you, and you felt that there was my words, not yours, that there was an axe they were trying to grind, that there was an anger there, and you just didn't want to give them that sort of platform to do that. You wanted discussion. How do you go about making that discernment between this would be a good person to speak to, this person wouldn't? You must get approached a lot, I would imagine.
A decent amount. Sometimes I refer them to somebody else. Depends what they're kind of trying to do, what they got going on. And so sometimes, yeah, I'll refer them. And other times I just want to kind of see where things are. And, sometimes I've brought people on that in hindsight, I mean, I'll be like, I probably shouldn't have brought them on. And there's some people I probably should have brought on that I didn't. But like, I remember when one gal was pretty upset about some stuff and she had some important stuff to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, well, let me talk to you a little more in detail first. And I would like to do it with a female apologist present. And then I would like to just kind of see where things are at. And we couldn't keep on couldn't like kind of work out the schedule. And it kept on missing each other with this little meeting we were supposed to have. And she got super upset. She eventually said, you're just not trying to talk to me, because we missed each other a few times where it didn't work out at the time we had plans. You're just not trying to talk to me. You're out here. You don't really care about me or my family. You don't care about us. And, and just like really lost it and was incredibly angry. And like, I'm going to tell everyone how you don't, do this and do that. And you're supposed to do this and do that. Basically, it was like, she kind of demanded that I put her on right away. And if I didn't put her on right away, like, I was essentially failing. Like, it was like, yo, you don't. And but I felt like, even though that was kind of irritating, I felt like it was right that I kind of vetted her out and waited, because I don't think that would have been a good thing. Another person had some incredible accusations, not just the standard kind of accusations, like incredible accusations. And I just wanted a little more evidence than what they were having for the level of accusation that it was. And they couldn't really do it. And I said, I don't feel comfortable putting like these kind of just accusations out there, because it gets too dirty, unless it's like a real valid thing. And this is something we really need to talk about. And we can have a little bit of evidence to this level of accusation, what you're saying about some of these leaders that you were involved with, whatever, because it can just delve real quick into gossip and just like an axe to grind instead of really being beneficial. And then another person was saying how their children were in danger because of Hebrew Israelism, but they didn't just want to talk to me. They wanted to come on immediately. And I was trying to work through it, and it didn't work out how they wanted it to. And they were like accusing me of not caring about their children and all this stuff. And I mean, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was like, look, if it's that serious of an issue, you need to call the police. Like,
right.
You're saying she was basically saying like someone has kidnapped my children and they're holding them hostage and all. And I was like, how? And I was trying to be respectful. I was like, how exactly am I going to help you with this if this is true? So you get some odd stuff. And then sometimes I'll get someone who's like, I want to do it. This is good. And what happens is they're still too Hebrew Israelite-ish to come on. So they'll call me back later and say, my friends told me I shouldn't trust you. I saw this video you did that was totally mean, and I'm not going to come on now. Or I had another one say, I was going to come on with you and talk about this truth, meaning these are like former Hebrew Israelites or people who have left a camp or something. These are not just regular ones like the ones you're asking about. And they were like, but then I found out you're white on your dad's side. I'm not going to come on.
Right. Yeah. Father's line.
I was like, but this is an ex-Hebrew Israelite who says they've embraced the gospel, but it's clear they still have some of this in them to where if you're willing to change the interview because you found out the person's ethnicity was different than what you thought, clearly you haven't fully embraced the gospel. So that's the other thing is like, how far out are they? So sometimes I'll have someone on if they're articulate, it seems like they can manage and balance, who maybe isn't where I wish they were, but I'll kind of say, here's where they are, understand this, they're working through it. So it's not like I won't have anyone on unless they're perfectly healed, as people say nowadays, but it's just like trying to see what could just be a train wreck where, I'm giving someone a platform to just hurl baseless, which they could be true, but they got to kind of show. I don't want to be just a baseless accusations channel. I could have done a ton of interviews if I was willing to just essentially put up stuff that was strictly gossip. So it's like there's a level because there's a level, you know, if say you hear something from a bunch of people, or say there's some evidence to a claim, you know what I'm saying? Or say it's something minor that's like, oh, they didn't get that exactly right. And you find out later, but it's not like they're accusing, you know, someone of assault and battery. It's like a small thing like, oh, they actually did call you back, you know, that kind of thing. So it's not easy, but I do sometimes run it by the people. Every now and then I'll talk to someone in the live chat, or I'm sorry, the squad about it, like in a Patreon thing, or one of my fellow apologists who has experience with the person. Let's say they were like, oh, I reached out to G-Con too. But hey, G-Con, what's your opinion of so-and-so? Oh man, they trouble, man. Man, they ain't, I don't know if I would have them on, man, because they would call weird. They call me and they start talking. And so like, I'll get like some other perspectives from some of the guys and sometimes some of the gals. Like I work with Cherry a lot on that kind of stuff, especially with the ladies. So I don't know. That's kind of a detailed answer, but and so to be honest with you, sometimes I forget and I don't contact some of these people back. And I just wish they would tip me back again or have grace instead of posting about it or something like that. Cause there can be a good amount of messages. And sometimes I'll see a message when I'm like half awake and I remember, okay, I need to hit them back up. And then I forgot where on social media it was. Like, where was that? Was that an email? Was that a Facebook? Where was that message? And I can't find it. So anyway, sorry.
Now, you mentioned something that I remember Jay, the producer, was off on that in a big way over on Faithful to God's channel, talking about Hebrew Israelites that had left the particular camp they were in, and they held on to a lot of the beliefs, and that was a big problem for him. It was something he pounded away on. You got to let the racial interpretations go from the Old Testament. You're really not doing so. You're not accepting the covenant. If you are, do you think that's a problem? Have you encountered a lot of people like that? That's always something that stayed with me. From what he said, like,
yeah,
like, you can leave the camp because you're not getting along with people or whatever, right, particular, but you're holding on to a lot of precepts, you know?
Oh yeah. Like, I've had a bunch of them be like, you know, we left, whatever, everything's all good. And then they'll be like, hey, I started a YouTube channel. Go check it out. You know, these are like people who have left an organization, and I'll go watch their YouTube videos and they're kind of talking about the gospel, but then, oh, someone just disappeared. Whoever that was, I saw you and I was about to bring you in, but then you just left. Or did you guys bring them in? Remember Dinu and Nate, you guys can bring people in. I think someone was just in here and I was going to get them and they just took off. They were only in here for like a minute.
Come back.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever. So I'll go watch one of their videos and they'll be like using all these racial slurs against people they would perceive to be non-Israelites in their former life, but it's clear they're still hanging on. I'm like, yo, he's like super racist still. Or like the guy who was like, oh, we want to expose this truth. He was like a elder guy who was with the camps back in the day. Would have been a great interview, but he's the guy who was like, well, I found out you're part Edomite. And it's like, you told me you embrace the gospel. You say now that all nations can be saved. You still think you're an Israelite. Okay. But why would you not do the interview? Because I don't understand. Clearly there's still something there. And this guy had left like 20 years ago or something.
20.
Yeah. He was like an older, and it's still like caught him up. Or like you get these guys who have peer pressure. Some of these guys succumb to peer pressure. They'll be cool when I talk to them one-on-one, and then they'll be like the interview scheduled and they put it up. And I see these comments of people that don't talk to a devil, da-da-da. And they call me back like, hey man, I decided I'm not going to do it. You know, a lot of brothers don't trust you, da-da-da. And they'll cancel it. And I don't force anybody. I don't convince anybody. It's like, I'm not going to, well, actually, I'm safe. I'm not going to convince any. I'm just like, hey, okay, it's your decision. Fine. No big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'll make a fruit smoothie instead during that time. It's no big deal. Like but these kind of things do happen. But what I've noticed is over time, people seeing, oh, this guy hasn't went anywhere. Sometimes this guy is maybe okay or right about something or somewhat sort of fair every now and then. I'm telling you the perception. Mm-hmm. And more of them are willing to talk to me behind the scenes and in public. It's like becoming a trickle to where more and more people I think that would not have talked to me, they are starting to be willing to do it. These guys who are kind of out of it, but they still have some sentimental attachment to certain theological aspects of it. Mm-hmm. Adiala is a perfect example. Adiala used to say all kinds of racist stuff against me. and he would. We debated. He did some messed up videos against me. Now I don't know what happened to his channel, but he said it got taken down. So a lot of those videos are gone, which that was a while ago. But some of these videos where he was not being cool at all. But then we talked behind the scenes, and it seems like there's been some growth there. And he came on, and we've been texting ever since, and it seemed perfectly fine. So I'm glad that there's some growth there. It's like you kind of stick around and don't take things personal. And some of these guys do come around like, okay. Because sometimes it's not just, sometimes it's about me personally. Like, could they be where I am? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like that as well. But I've had one last thing is I've had some guys invite me onto their platform, and we're supposed to talk about like why to leave the camp. But instead, the whole time they debate me about who's an Israelite. So I've had that happen a number of times. It's like they can't help. They know they need to talk about why such and such camp is bad.
Right.
But they can't help but just want to school me instead, because this has happened a bunch of times and I just roll with it. But I'm like, you said we were going to talk about this. Instead, you guys just ended up wanting to just, because that's all you really care about. When we totally missed an opportunity to at least agree on the subject, you just wanted to debate about who was Israel instead. Okay. So these are guys who are maybe still have an Israelite identity, but they've embraced some better theological things, and they realize there's problems in a lot of these camps. So there's variations. Like now it's almost like, what exactly is an ex-Hebrew Israelite? It's kind of like, it's getting almost a little confusing. Like you can leave a camp, still think you are, you can embrace Christianity a lot more fuller, still think it's like, saying, where's the line? But anyways, that's a lot of info. Sorry about that.
No worries. So like back in the day, high school, I mean, you talked a few times about, the influence 5%ism, Nation of Gods and Earths had on hip hop. And, it was high school, it was college. Hip hop was it was huge. And so you couldn't miss the references unless you were really, really not paying attention. Uh-huh. And a whole bunch of my friends started, it's like, yeah, I understand there's a black man, I'm God. Now, since then they've dropped that, but it was just picking up bits and pieces of it. Right. And so you would Nation of Islam stuff through Clarence 13X. That's 5%ism. Mm-hmm. Certain things repeating of the black man of Asia, the Asiatic black man, just talking points, really. You know what I mean? And do you see a similar pattern happening where you have One West camps, you have somebody who's not necessarily studded up with a 12 tribes chart in front of them on the street corner, but they're holding tight to them ideas and they're influenced by them ideas, and you get Hebrew Israelites light floating around. Do you see the theology spreading? Because it's seductive if you don't know. If you don't have somebody who's speaking the gospel to you, it's a very seductive idea. You are at the center of the world's most famous book. This book is about you, right, by you, only for you. That's incredibly seductive. That's beguiling. Like, can you see Hebrew Israelite light becoming a thing, the way that 5%ism spread around to people that weren't necessarily interested in going?
Yeah, a few things. Back in the day, everyone would kind of, make the comment like when a celebrity, say they got a hip hop album and they're like, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for helping me get this award. And, their album is like filled with them taking like the Lord's name in vain and all this kind of crazy stuff. Right. And it's like, but the point by that is kind of like, or they'll have this album filled with like gangster rap and they'll have a gospel song or something like that. That's because like the belief structure that's plausible, the plausibility structure within the framework that came out of is sort of Christian-ish, right? But now it's not a given that that's the case. So they might, their belief structure, their plausibility structure, whether they embrace it or really adhere it, but sort of the framework in which they process some things, and it may just be buzzwords. It's hard to see, what level of what people call ingress is. But now it might be Kemeticism. Now it might be Hebrew Israelism. Now it might be some kind of combination of these things together. And so that's sort of an informal thing that is happening. But then you also see, so it's almost like people filtering things through a kind of a quasi shallow Hebrew Israelite worldview, kind of like maybe like a Kendrick Lamar is a good example of that on a pop level. But then you also see the syncretism that's almost like, here's the most popular alternative spiritualities right now. We'll put them together. And you'll have guys who come on their show and they'll say like, Shalom Ak, but then they'll also say greeting buzzwords for Kemetz, greeting buzzword for NOI, Assalamu alaikum, and all these other different things. They're like, peace and to my Christian brothers, something like that, right? You're getting that kind of thing now. Or with the NFAC, not If and Around Coalition, it's like almost like explicit syncretism. And you're seeing that too, but it's not really taking any of them very seriously, but it's part of what's filtered through. So yeah, that's happening. I think it's going to happen more. So these lines of like who's a Hebrew Israelite and all that stuff, it's going to get blurrier and blurrier. And you're going to have Catholics who are like Hebrew Israelites now. You're going to have Muslims we've already actually seen some Muslims who are, I think you're going to see more of that stuff. And it's almost like we're going to have the spectrum, like, hardcore, barely, And so, yeah, I think that has been happening. I think we'll see it more. Because like, I remember that I never did a video on it. Remember the lady who was yelling at people on the plane? She's like, you're mad because you don't have melanin and you're mad. And she was saying all this stuff. And one of the things was like, because we're God's chosen people and you're not. It was a viral video about, 9 months ago. I don't know. I always say stuff 9 months ago. But she was like yelling at everyone on the plane and like people had video. And a lot of people were like, is this a Hebrew Israelite? But a lot of the stuff she was saying when she got mad at this fellow passenger was Hebrew Israelite stuff. And I thought that was fascinating because who knows what they were talking about before, but it wasn't Hebrew Israelite stuff. But when she got mad, the weight that she levied against this other passenger was Hebrew Israelite ideology.
Right.
Almost like that's your middle finger.
Condemnation.
Yeah. Like you pissed me off because you took my space on the overhead and God's going to get you Edomites. That's like the kind of thing it turned into. I thought that was fascinating. Like her set of like cursings became Hebrew Israelite condemnations. Like she might as well had the board out there on the street, if they would let women speak at camp, but like she might as well have been doing that. Right. Although I see GJC does let women sometimes do that. It's fascinating. But,
see,
anyways,
that's one of the things that worries me the most. Like racism on the face of it is ugly. It's ugly when you're saying to somebody that kind of insult, but when you're saying, and God's behind me on it. Ooh,
all right.
Like that's next level.
Yeah. Well, I think the KKK and the Christian Identity have been doing that for years.
they have been, and it fits in an equal category of ugliness.
Jacob Israel, do you want to come on? Jacob Israel says, so you talk about what? Black men all night? That sounds super sus. But why don't you come on and I'll talk directly to you, my friend? You probably missed the whole conversation for like 40 minutes where we're talking about Eastern Orthodox, which is definitely not filled with black folks. In fact, they hold up pictures of white Jesus and say, kiss him. But hey, whatever. Let's make sure we get to Joe because his camera's working now, Paulie. Joe, what's going on? How you doing, man?
How you doing? It is interesting. A couple of things you said was the consistency just showing up. I came here, I think 3 years ago, I was on this corner and we literally got punched and pushed around and everything. And after 6 months, the guy was like, I am God. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, God doesn't get drunk and sell crack on the corner. And that kind of, I think it was kind of abrupt, but I think it kind of helped him to dial it down a little bit. But then a year later, I saw and he was like, keep up the good work. And so I think just being seen, being, part of the quote unquote community is very huge. It's, you're a real person, you genuinely care. This is where I live. I want to be part of the conversation. And I think that's huge. But we do deal with a lot of things like what you're talking about. I guess, I don't know who coined it, the synthesism you're talking about.
Syncretism.
Yeah.
Mix and match.
It is. And it is kind of scary, but people are searching for an identity. If you don't have an identity in Christ, and the gifting that comes from God and the talents that he gives you, and you respect him and love him for it, and you want to be effective in it, the life that God calls you to, then you're going to have to find your comforts in anything else, marijuana or whatever it is. We had a conversation just yesterday down at the Pier 39, and we were down there, and a young woman took offense. She was blowing marijuana smoke in our face, and then she ended up throwing her drink on one of the brothers that was preaching. She said, "That's for my ancestors." And this whole idea, it's the corrupt part of it. That's the corruption part of it. You know, it's a license to hate, and that's just wrong for anybody.
Right.
But you know, we try to love them through it and preach the gospel. When right here on this corner, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, and there on the other corner with the speaker, I just tell you, this was so kind of funny. They were on the other corner preaching with their robes and everything, and we were over here preaching, and I didn't know what to do, so I just started praying. Then I just pulled out that message, you know, you're saved by grace through faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just not the keeping of the law or your clothes or anything else that saves you. It's your faith in Christ. And their speaker blew up.
Oh, yeah?
They were preaching hard. I was preaching hard. And their speaker blew up and they packed up and left. So I don't necessarily say that's the providence of God, but I just think that the best thing is just to preach Christ and the gospel.
Amen.
And make it plain and clear the best we can. And that's kind of how I deal with it. I don't get into the weeds like you do, but I mean, I'm glad you do. It's good to know and understand these things. I don't really get into their theology that much, but you do see them, you know, and they'll come up to you. Sometimes they know who you are, and they can be kind of, you know, aggressive, and it's just amazing the license they have. You know, cussing and all that. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, they might like your beard, Joe. Hopefully, you know, you get some compliments on your beard, maybe.
I'm trying to cut in my face when
but I have a special place in my heart for evangelists. So, you know, you guys are doing the grunt work day to day. And I appreciate that. I'm glad. I love hearing stories like that. It sounds like God helped you win the battle of the bands too.
Please pray for us here.
Yes,
Please
sir.
pray for us here, because it's like the fruit is so slight. Well, it's number 8. San Francisco is number 8 for post-Christian cultures, and number 1 for unchurched. And most of them are, it's like about 10% or so, and most of them are Catholic. So I'm interested when you're talking about orthodoxy too. You know, I understand the Roman Catholic Church is different than what you're talking about with the orthodoxy, but I just don't understand how people. Well, I do. It's called bias, and that's another reason the brother was talking about. You know, how you can be saved and still have some of that old ideology. It's what the Bible calls strongholds. And that's part of the mind and the soul that has to be renewed.
Renewed daily. Amen.
You know?
Yeah.
We're made perfect in love, and we have love, and love covers a multitude of sins. But if you love a brother, you're not going to hate him and cuss him out.
Yeah. John says you can't do that. You haven't seen God and you claim to love him. But then you see your brother and you hate him. That something's wrong
Just
there.
so I love you and appreciate all you do. And I'm glad I finally got to talk to you. I didn't mean for it to happen like this, but that's fine.
Well, that's all right. I'm glad to see you out and about. I want to read something that I think relates to what you said. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect.
Right.
So there you go. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed.
Right.
The King James Version says, but be ye transformed.
Right.
So, man, that's good. That's good. Hey, man, I envy you a little bit out there in San Francisco. I hear San Francisco's got some of the best Italian restaurants in the country.
Some what?
Some of the best Italian restaurants in the country are said to be in San Francisco.
I love the pho.
You what?
I love the pho. I fell in love with it. We got Little Saigon and tenderloin, and they've got the pho. So I get the biggest kick. I walk in with a friend of mine, and the biggest kick I get is like, two pho.
Right. They know your order. That's all right. Well, maybe one day we'll see what else is there. But Joe, it's awesome to meet you, and keep up that street
God bless
evangelism,
you,
brother.
brother. And I'm gonna head back into the house.
All right.
Okay,
You
I'll be watching you on YouTube. God bless you.
be blessed,
Thank
Joe.
for all
Thank you.
do.
Well, we went from San Francisco. Now let's go to Brooklyn. What's up, Gerard Perry and BKLYN? You're up super late out there in New York City. How you doing, bro? You're muted, but what you got?
Yeah, I
Gerard?
am.
What's up?
It's 10 to 2 where I am. Yeah.
Do you watch soccer, Gerard?
I can't say that I do. No, I don't.
Well, I don't either. I've been trying to talk to somebody who can explain to me more about it since I barely kind of watched some of one game.
If you want an explanation of why people watch it, I can't give you one. Because to me, it's the most mind-numbing. You know what's actually interesting? The culture surrounding soccer is a lot more fascinating than the sport itself. I don't know if you ever read this. There's this book called Among the Thugs. It was written by journalists, I think from either New York Magazine or The New Yorker. This guy called Bill Buford, and it was published in 1990. And it was fascinating because it looked at soccer hooliganism from a sociological perspective. So you had this writer, I think I could be mistaken, but I think he might have been British, but he was living in New York. He went to England and sort of immersed himself in British soccer hooligan culture and wrote about it. And it culminated in the World Cup. And the climax of it is basically a British soccer riot on the island of Malta, where they overrun a police station. It's an amazing book. It's really interesting to read, but it doesn't really delve into the technical details of soccer, which, like I said, is just very boring. I mean, even the rules are kind of stupid. The whole idea of offsides. If they wanted to make it more interesting, they would just eliminate that rule altogether, so you can just run ahead and score whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, like a fast break. But you can't.
Yeah, kind of like basketball, but
I think the signs like that, I think, is for offsides. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, they're just all sorts of. I mean, it's kind of sad when you have a goal that's the size of. It's basically the size of an end zone, and yet they're the average number of goals scored are, it's maybe 2 or less than 2 per game.
Yeah, there are low scoring games. It's interesting how a lot of these games seems like they get ended with penalty kicks. At the end, they're just imagine that's a lot of stress, man. I'm trying to imagine what that is. A lot of stress.
Well, the funny thing is people complain about that, but for me, that's the most exciting. They basically pack the 90 seconds of excitement into the very end of the game.
Yeah. It's like a shootout or something. Nah. It's just interesting. That's the way it works. I don't have enough of an opinion to complain about it, but I think it's interesting because like with even the game that happened last night, that's exactly what happened. It's exactly how it went. Nate, your wardrobe is magnificent tonight.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's very, very elegant.
It's not that. It's everything else with it.
What?
Well, just the
hat.
More so the pants and stuff. But D New seems.
I'm not wearing pants.
D New seems to be getting a enjoyment out of the situation.
She enjoys a lot of things.
Just to clarify, everyone, he did have pants on, though. That's not what she's laughing at, everyone.
Yeah. Don't want one of these Jeffrey Toobin situations.
Yeah. So, Gerard Perry, I've been talking with some of my friends in New York, and they say that there's not that many true Italian sections left of even Brooklyn. I heard there's-
No, it's true. I mean, Dyker Heights was an Italian American area, and there was even a church. There's even a church there, St. Bernadette's, a Roman Catholic church, which was supposedly endowed by the head of the Gambino crime family.
Yeah.
But now, not even now. I think even I forget if it was 2000 or 2010 census, there were around half of the people were of Italian descent. So I imagine now that's been halved, maybe less than a quarter. So the only real Italian section to speak of is Staten Island. I mean, you go to Newdorp and you see the Triskelion, the Sicilian.
Oh, with the legs.
Yeah, you see that. Although I think in Sicily or in Italian it's the Tricotta, or
I think that's what it's called, but I can't pronounce it any better than you.
No, I was actually speaking to someone from a big Sicilian family in church the other day, and he remembered the word. So there actually are some Sicilians in my church. They're a family that lived. They actually went out into the mission field. A couple of them were born in Sicily, or most of them, I think, were born in Sicily. Although they have American. They speak like Americans because it's a weird situation, but
yeah, I was reading that it was Dyker Heights and Bensonhurst were some of the kind of traditionally most Italian places in Brooklyn, and that it's a lot less even from 2006, because I was looking at some old videos from 2006 when Italy, I think they won the World Cup, and there was Italians mobbing the streets acting crazy. I mean, it was fun, but they were like, they were like fun idiots. They were all over 18th Ave, mainly on 18th Avenue, but it was like super. And I was looking at it, and a lot of the comments, like online, I was talking to some people, they were saying like, oh yeah, and now it wouldn't even like be like that. Like now it's way less. Like you couldn't even get that. Like it wouldn't look the same now. But I have seen some video recently that was from 18th Avenue, and it didn't look quite like 2006. But it looks like, the soccer still brought out the Italians, at least in Bensonhurst.
Oh,
There's a couple of streets where they still out there. My favorite was a guy comes out, he's like no shirt on, and he comes out and they're all going, Italia. And this is at Bensonhurst on 18th Avenue.
Italia.
And there's like vans that are painted red, white, and green. And he has a full plate of cannoli. And he's like, Italia. He's doing it with the rhythm of the crowd chant. And he's going like this. And then he takes one, puts it in his mouth, and then throws up the cannoli in the air. And the video said it's raining cannoli. And all the comments were so upset. Like, how could you waste good cannoli? Like, all the comments were angry at this guy because he threw
I'm probably
cannoli.
an outlier in the sense that I don't even like cannoli, but
if you look at the video, this case, they went to the ground and they picked them up, so they were willing to go get them. But I thought that was the funniest thing. He's like throwing them.
Keep the cannoli.
But that was in Bensonhurst, so at least there's somebody left, I guess. But then I saw a video on Mulberry Street, and that used to be like a hardcore little area, and like it was literally like one. I mean, I'm not saying this was everyone there. I'm in Phoenix watching the stuff. Like, I'm as a foreigner basically. But I was watching. It was like one little cafe where they had a watch party, and the watch party was super small for this Mulberry Street cafe. That's not the name of it, but like that. I mean, back in the day, it wouldn't have been like that. But it was like this tiny little thing. But it looked like there were still some people getting down in Bensonhurst, at least on 18th Avenue.
Well, I lived in Dyker Heights in 2006, and your description is pretty accurate because I lived down the block from this Italian cafe, and when Italy was winning, they went absolutely bonkers. And it's funny because you mentioned Mulberry Street, Little Italy. It's not even little anymore. It's basically you have a few restaurants,
right? Yeah, my friend made a joke, or I saw a guy made a joke about that. He's like, Little Italy in the Bronx is not even Little Italy. It's like a Sopranos theme park. You
Yeah,
know, like you go through and there's all these forget about it's and mugs and stuff but then that's like it.
And the Bronx, it's little Albania, basically.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard Staten Island is a place now, but I don't know. We have someone in the live chat. Shout out to you. Where'd you go? Someone is from Staten Island here. Where'd they go? Who's that person was here? Shout out to you from Staten Island. I'm just trying to get with you real quick. Oh, there we go. Staten Island in the house. One love. Shout out to you, One Love from Staten Island. And shout out to Mick Ranger. I think he's from New York too. 18th Avenue is where I used to get my pastries and breads for the holidays. Mick Ranger, you're in New York, aren't you? Mick Ranger, where are you at these days? Where are you at? And then Ulysses Fernandez says, Viva Italia from Brooklyn. Apparently, why don't you New York people come in and talk about this with us? I appreciate you in the live chat, but all of a sudden they start popping up. What's up? I'm in Staten Island now. Oh, so Ulysses Fernandez moved to Staten Island as well. I literally know nothing about Staten Island other than it's a forgotten borough and that apparently all the Italians have went there. I literally know nothing else about it. Oh, and a couple rap groups have come out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Public Enemy. What the heck? Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
A couple have come. I mean, Wu-Tang Clan's from Staten Island.
There you go.
It's funny. I was actually at this barbershop. It's kind of and you look at the walls and it's an homage to organized crime. They basically have photos from episodes of The Sopranos. And I think there's even a picture of John Gotti somewhere in there. But I overheard someone talking about doing the cement for Method Man's pool, I think, or it was really fun. There's actually there's a Wu-Tang mural in Stapleton as you go from Clifton into Stapleton, and there was even something called the Wu-Zeum, which was an entire section of a public library in Dongan Hills that was dedicated to the Wu-Tang Clan. So they had CDs and they had
RZA has those books. RZA has those books where it's like the wisdom or the Tao of Wu and all this stuff. And some of them written books. That's interesting.
There was also a pretty interesting biography of ODB where the author, who's a sociologist, she discussed the government monitoring and how it kind of exacerbated his own paranoia, particularly towards the end of his life. He was on, I think he was on some sort of reality show where he was chained to someone, like with an ankle bracelet. It was really it's kind of bizarre.
Shimmy, yeah. With the mic and let me take it away. Off on a natural charge, bon voyage.
You got it.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, people really. I didn't realize how into Wu-Tang Staten Islanders were until I moved here. And you can't go a week without seeing someone. And there's even a store dedicated to selling Wu-Tang Clan apparel. Believe it or not,
they used to have their own store. They opened up. I don't know if it's the same one, but for a while, Wu-Tang opened up their own store. Actually, they had a Wu-Tang store. Yeah. I don't know if they have it now, but actually, it's funny. In high school, Wu-Tang was like the stuff. I respected them, but it was never one of my favorite groups. It was just like not my thing per se. Like they were dope, but I saw everyone some of my friends basically worshiped Wu-Tang. Like they were like thought they were getting an education by listening to their CDs or something. And they, but like I was like, yeah, they're cool. But there was other groups I liked more. Groups that were like more like, I don't know, like Souls of Mischief, for example, something like that was to me. But hey, I want to talk about this more, but we got Eric Bond. So you might be one of the last people who comes in, Eric Bond. So welcome to the 3-year anniversary. How you doing?
What's going on with you, bro?
Nothing much. You get to see everybody. We're just hanging out. 3-year anniversary. We've been going close to an hour and a half. So we're in a winding down phase, but I'm glad you came on, man. What's going on? So what do you want us to do on the channel? Not do? What's good? What's bad? What do you like? What do you dislike? Whatever you want to say.
You know what, man? I was just thinking about you, and D knew I was trying to get on the phone. I said, man, I'm so thankful for you because I had went through a lot of things with GMS in Chicago. I'm out here in Chicago. So I just want to, admit to the audience, and like I was telling my son earlier, I said, you know what? The Black Hebrew Israelite situation, it's disgusting to me. And I just wanted to put it out there. And if you could say a prayer to everybody out here in Chicago, if you could just put it out there for the line, because it was disgusting for me and my family. And, you know, what do you think?
Well, everyone pray for Eric Bond, his family, and the Hebrew Israelite situation in Chicago. But what are you saying was this? You're saying you were involved with GMS Chicago and it was bad on your family? I'm not sure exactly what you're saying, unless you're trying not to give.
What I was just saying is just, I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm trying to
that's fine.
Get involved with it as far as sending my situation to D New, and just it's just hateful, brother. It's just hateful, and I want it to end. I want it to end. As far as Black folks out here in Chicago, it's just ridiculous. As far as we talking about, you know, we Hebrew Israelites and this and that, Deuteronomy 28:68. You know, it's just ridiculous. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Well, I can tell you specifically that I went out, I think 2-3 years ago in a summer with G-Con, Cherry, and talked to GMS Chicago specifically. I still don't think I put that video on my channel. It's somewhere on their channel. I should probably put up some version of it sometime. But I could tell you that GMS Chicago camp, they are definitely in the running for being one of the worst camps in the sense of the way they act and the stuff that they say and how they are. Like they were bad out there. And there was a bunch, because when we first came out there, we got to the corner basically before them, and we kind of were walking by, and they eventually recognized us.
Where was y'all there, on State and Van Buren?
Yeah, I remember the name State. I don't remember the other cross street, but I remember the name downtown, State. Yeah. I feel like it was State and Adams, but don't quote me on that. I remember State. I remember that street. I mentioned it one time on the thing. I got it written down somewhere, but yeah, they were right downtown. And so there was, you know, first it was like 10, 15. Then there's about 20 guys. But I don't know if they called people and got more or what happened. I felt it was like immediate. After we were there about an hour, when I say immediate, like it all of a sudden there was people on both sides of the street, which I had never seen before. You know, where there's so many on one side of the line that they create another line on the other side. So I turned around to the other side of the street, which is not that far. The street was kind of narrow, the street. And there was about 20 more Hebrew Israelites on the other side. And I was like, whoa. And they were yelling. Because sometimes when I get in a conversation one-on-one with one of these guys on the street, I kind of get locked in. So I kind of didn't realize we were talking for a while. And when I turned around, the whole backside of that street was filled up too. And I was just like, there's no way it was less than 35. I think about 40. And I asked G-Con and Cherry, like, did you count about 40 guys total? And they were super wild out there.
Right.
Nobody tried to put hands on us.
That's how we are, you know. I'm not trying to brag about it, but that's how Chicago is, you know.
So no one directly tried to put hands on us, but two things did happen that were kind of like, One is a guy walked up to me, and I've told the story a number of times, while I was talking to another guy, and he's just staring at me. You know how it is when you can tell someone's staring at you? Because I didn't really see him out of my peripheral vision because he's like side corner. And I'm talking to this other guy, but I felt it. So I turned over. I was like, hey, what's up, man? And the guy goes, this is GMS Chicago. He says, I just want to stab you in the throat right now. And he said it just like that. And I was like, I bet you do. I was like, that's because you're of your father, the devil. And he was a murderer from the beginning. And he's like, oh, it wouldn't be murder if I killed you. It'd be a righteous kill. And I said, oh, so it wouldn't be murder. So you're not your father, you're the devil, you know? And so we had this stupid conversation about him stabbing me in the neck. How many conversations do you have with someone about stabbing you in the neck? Right. But that was that. But at a certain point, G-Con started going over to the side. Like he was stopped engaging them. And I looked over, I was like, what's going on? I would look over. And he was like pointing out to me through like kind of verbal gestures. He was pointing out to me that various people kept on circling us. And it was just kind of unsettling. Like I'd be talking to someone for no reason. They walk and like stand behind me and then walk.
Right.
And they kept on doing it more and more. So G-Con was like G-Con was like, hey man, you need to get out of here. But I was locked in conversation. It took him about 10 or 15 minutes for G-Con to pull me away. But he's like, bro,
Wow.
he's like, trust me, bro. I'm seeing what they're doing. You need to go. Like this looks like they called more people. We need to leave because they're like starting to walk behind.
You know what it is, not to cut you off.
No, that's okay. But that's my experience with GMS Chicago. So to me, I don't diss every camp equally. GMS Chicago is a bad camp. That's a bad news camp. They're like, that's not a place anyone's going to do good in. And the older men in that camp, the older men act crazy. The older men don't act like good leaders. Go ahead. What you say, Dinu?
I was going to tell you, vocab, and what I was trying to tell the sister is that I was telling people, listen, it's wicked. It's wicked. You know, bottom line, it's wicked. And people need to understand that.
I just put the link for the recap that you did with G-Con and
Sister
Cherry. Yeah. It's in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this opportunity real quick. Just I have to actually get going right now. Get off to work.
What's up, Paulie?
Just hey man, congratulations on 3 years. Happy to be a patron. Dinu, Nate, for doing what you do. Vocab, grace of God, you keep doing what you do, man. It's much appreciated, edifying.
Nice meeting you, Paulie Dub.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right, God bless. Peace out. What's up, Eric?
You know what, vocab, I wanted to get with you next time you come back out here because I dealt with apologetics since 2000. I want to say 5 or 6 somewhere in there, and I just wanted to get with you the next time you come back out here to the shop.
I'll definitely hit you up. The only place besides this little vacation I'm about to do that I have plans on is I think in October. I think I'm supposed to be going somewhere in Florida. I'm gonna say Tampa.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
I'm sorry. I know that doesn't. But what I was just saying is I don't know if. But I'm taking a little miniature travel kind of vacation thing coming up here. But I'm not going all the way up to Chicago. I am going to drive through Southern Illinois, and I'm probably going to try to see G-Con to do a little lunch with him. But I don't know when I'm going to Chicago next. But there are a lot of things that happen there, and I've got friends there, and so I'd love to go back.
Okay, yeah, let me know, G-Con. Like I said, I've been watching your videos for a while now. I've been doing apologetics, you know. What's his name? Ankerberg and
John Ankerberg, old TV show.
Yeah, they put me up on it, and
good.
I've been looking back and forth, and I want to apologize before everybody because I had a lot of things to say about vocab and this and that because of the black consciousness and this. And I say, you know what, vocab, I'm gonna keep it real, and like we say out here in Chicago, I'm gonna keep it real, walkie-talkie with you. You know, I'm gonna keep it real, walkie-talkie with you and Dinu. I'm gonna apologize to you right now because I say, man, vocab, he was wicked going at to Zariak and this. No, he wasn't wicked. No, he wasn't wicked. No, that brother, he just trying to bring people into our understanding.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
Everybody know. You, Dinu, all y'all been professional, and we can go a little bit deeper into it because I work, like I told my son, my daughter as well. We work and we be professional as far as doing certain things, but you know, vocab, he ain't doing nothing bogus, man. He ain't doing nothing bogus. I love you all, plain and simple.
Appreciate that, Eric. As they say in Chicago, from what I know, what little slang I know, Chicago. Appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah. But look, I also want to get you on this too, because I think you and Dinu, the sister, as far as Chicago gangs is concerned, people they don't really realize dealing with apologetics. As far as Chicago gangs, when you look at the Chicago Disciples, the Lords, the Kings, the El Rubens, there is an esoteric understanding with Muslims and the Bible with Chicago gangs. So if we can get into that, you know.
Yeah, and the old school one, the Blackstone Rangers, they were explicitly Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Gangster Disciples, they have they'll have crosses and that 6-star. 6-pointed star.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the Black Disciples, Gangster Disciples, the Four Corner Hustle. When you talk about
Folk Nation.
Exactly.
I'm not from Chicago, but in Columbus there was a heavy Chicago influence, and so when someone thought they were trying to do a gang thing, usually they were affiliated with somebody in Chicago. When I was in Columbus, so it was a lot of folk, a lot of GD, a lot of that kind of stuff. Blackstone Rangers, I never heard about that till I got older because I think that's more from the past, but at least from what I know. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to let you know as far as with the Blackstone Rangers and El Rubens, it has a lot of influence from Libya and Muammar Gaddafi. And, you know, from that, if you want to talk about it, we could talk offline about it. But
and I know the Latin Kings are out there too.
Every gang in Chicago has a biblical and a Quranic base to it.
Right. Joshua Maximus wants to know, why is this man talking about black gangs in Chicago? How could he possibly understand? Why is this man talking about our culture? Well, Joshua, Eric brought it up.
I want
ask him because you know what? I'm out here. Well,
you know what? By the way, hey Joshua, let me say something real quick. Hey Joshua, stop being racist. Because just because we're talking about gangs doesn't mean we're talking about black culture. Oh,
there's that too.
What do you want to say, Dinu?
I just wanted you to address. Hey, Eric, nice to meet you. There's a comment from Joshua that I wanted you to address because you kind of addressed it when you were on the Sonetta show, and Jabari said the same kind of thing to you. Vocab, I've seen you comment on the Black Hebrew Israelites, NOI, Moors, and several other Black organizations. Why do you, as a Caucasian, feel like you have a place to say anything about that community?
Well, Joshua, because on the internet, you can hit this button. It's called Go Live. No, I just mess with what I'm saying is, you know, that's the freedom of the internet, baby. No, it's true. That's fine. You know, people are going to say that. What I tell people, if they feel that way deeply, they should probably just, you know, not listen to me, and I'm okay with that. But what it is like this. My paradigm is the Bible in all seriousness. And when you look at the scripture, you have plenty of cross-cultural evangelism if you want to look at it through that lens. And there are certain things we need to know about different people that we interact with. That's good. That's good practice. But if you read the book of Acts, you have mainly Jewish men, for the most part, as far as leading up these things, Hebrew men, Israelite men, who were going into a Greco-Roman world in which they were an ethnic and religious minority. And they were speaking to a much broader culture that was different than their own by and large. And they spoke to all kinds of people. And I think you could say they met them where they're at, especially Apostle Paul really idealized that philosophy. I become all things to all men, right? And if you look there, the aspect that was most important was the gospel. And there was specialization. Paul said, I'm the apostle to the Gentiles, but the Lord would also use Peter to speak to Gentiles. In Acts chapter 10, an angel of the Lord, an angel was directly involved and brought Cornelius to Peter, or Peter to Cornelius, however you want to look at it. And he's speaking to Gentiles, even though that he may have not been sort of, quote, as equipped. And then Philip the evangelist speaks to an Ethiopian, an African man, because the Spirit of the Lord brought him to that chariot. And so what I'm saying is that I hear what you're saying, and I tell people, don't, if you think I shouldn't, then maybe it bothers you, but you can totally just tune me out, get rid of me, unsubscribe if you feel like, you know, that's really a problem. I know I'm still there, but I say basically it's like if you have a receipt, you can totally take the CD back to the store. I'm okay with that. I understand that perspective. But the reason why is because I have a biblical paradigm, and I see that when you talk about when you see the book of Acts, you see that kind of thing is allowed for. And it's sort of broader to me than that, oh, this person looks like me or is the same XYZ, so I can do that. Now, I'm not saying there's not thorny issues, because there are, but I have a feeling with the way you kind of asking these questions probably wouldn't even really fully accept any answer I gave, because I see your next thing you say, it's not about cross-cultural evangelism. Well, why are you saying that? Why isn't it about that? I don't know what you mean by that. You are specifically targeting one race of people. Well, it's the belief systems, but I hear you. Why are you targeting Black organizations? Why not Asian? Why not white? Why not Arab? Why Black? Well, it's interesting, Joshua. Would you have an issue if I targeted Asian belief systems? Let's say that was like Hudson Taylor or somebody, and I went into Southeast Asia context, and I really became mostly concerned with Eastern religions, right? So you hear me talking about Taoism, you're talking about Confucius, Shintoism, things like that. Would that be a problem, or would I still not be allowed to do it? Because why would you tell me to go then talk about people you're saying are Asian? Would that be okay then? You see what I'm saying? And by the way, there are all people who do that. Now, it's best to work with local people and this and that, and we wouldn't want to try to force culture on anybody, because it's not about that though. So I hear you, but really it has to do with how I grew up. You know, I grew up with, I think, maybe 3 Asian folks in my high school, and the what I was surrounded with was what I'm kind of still talking about now. Now, I wasn't surrounded by Hebrew Israelites, but I'm saying that kind of stuff. So it was like, there we go. And I feel like the Lord's calling me to do this right now. And you may not agree, but that's what I do believe. And I believe there's been some good stuff come out of it. You're not answering the question. I'm asking you, why Black organizations? Why are you targeting them? Answer that direct question. I felt like I just did.
Yeah, just Selah.
Like I just did. So check it out. It's what I grew up around. So I was exposed to it sort of naturally at a younger age. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a strange, it wasn't like I invented it, or I was like, one day I just decided. It was kind of like there already. And so then when there's carryover, so when you do one thing in urban apologetics, then you realize there's some overlap. And so you kind of naturally fall into another one. And so that's why I've done some of those other topics as well. But I would just say again, I am not offended if nobody wants to listen to me. Hey, this guy, look at this guy, Joshua Maximus. So the Lord has called you, a white man, to be the apostle to Black people? You know, you've got it. I think I'm going to put that in my channel description. Incredible. Well, you know, obviously you see everything through a very strong racialized lens. Okay, if that makes you, if that's what you want to do, then go ahead. But I don't have to join you and your strong demarcation lines in the same way, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't have to join you in that. And that's not what I said. That's not what I said. It really is. I'm kind of flowy. So God puts Eastern Orthodox stuff in my lap, and next thing you know, I'm talking about them. Doesn't mean I'm going to switch over to that, but it's like, that's not, I mean, Latvian, Russian, you know what I'm saying, Greek Orthodox. Clearly it's not part of urban culture, but sometimes it falls into my lap, so I talk about it. But I'm sorry that it bothers you that I exist. And my question is, why are you, as a non-white man, talking to me? You have no plus. I'm just kidding, obviously. Dinu, Nate, what do I need to say to this guy?
Nothing that you say will be acceptable. So
yeah,
I call the Selah. Yeah.
That's all right. We still love you, Maximus. Hey, you know what? Maximus could be the next Eric Bond. Remember, he basically said, I hated vocab. Mm-hmm. I said, this dude is wicked going after Black folks. And he said he had a conscious community mindset. And he said, I apologize because now he changed his mind.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I've interacted with Eric a little bit in the live chats when he was that way. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that you're this way now, Eric.
See, that's cool. I think I'm glad about that. It makes me happy. I'm glad to hear that. Mm-hmm. So Joshua Maximus, maybe one day you'll be the next Eric Bond. And I want to know, Joshua Maximus, why is your last name Maximus? Are you a Latin? Are you a Roman? If not, why are you co-opting their culture?
Valid.
So by definition, you are claiming to the opposite.
It's valid.
People are funny, man. Opposite. Yeah. Remember vocab, you can only evangelize to Italians. You know, I feel like I would fail if that's really what I'm supposed to do. Like, I feel like it'd be a epic failure, especially if it's like a stereotypical Jersey Italians. I don't think it would work out, man.
I kind of want to know why you don't target Asians more. I feel kind of left out.
Targeting Asians, man. That's a. In all seriousness, I really was not exposed to too much of Eastern religion or that just for a long time. Honestly, the only time, because there's been times in my life, Nate, where I've been like a minority in a room or a place or a situation, and it's usually like, you know, basically everyone's black and there I am. But I've never been that way. I've never had that experience with Asians, except a few times when I went to Talbot and I was in the library. Now there was South Koreans mainly, but in the library at Talbot, man, I was like, so that's what that feels like. That's as close as I came to being like experiencing that. But you know, I don't have I think it's too late for that, Nate, to be honest with you. I can't flip over to understanding Eastern religions, and I still don't even know how to use chopsticks. I think I've really failed. I'm sorry, Nate.
You can give him lessons at Adoption for the Block, Nate.
The other thing, Nate, is I like Thai food, but I don't like any other cuisine that... I don't want to go to those countries and eat that food, Nate. Well, why'd you ask me that question? What in the world am I supposed to say, man? Response?
I got nothing.
He got nothing.
Nate, do you like Thai food?
Sure.
No, like just kind of.
I mean, I haven't had it that much, but when I had, well, I don't even know if the Thai food that I've had is even authentic, because you know, okay, but you called it Thai food, so I don't even know if it's really Thai food.
Well, Pad Thai is kind of a classic Thai dish, right? And it's good. You can't go wrong. Tom Yum soup, so good. They bring it out and it's flaming in the middle. You know, seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of San Francisco that way. Then you've also got pot stickers, but I know that's not just Thai thing because I've had those Vietnamese restaurants too. Those are fun, like an appetizer thing. And the curries could be the bomb, bro. The iced tea is okay, at least in the places I go, at least in America, they make it a little too sweet. So I'll like maybe share it if that Thai iced tea is like a little too, you know, but it's kind of fun to have with the food. But I still can't eat with chopsticks. I'm still too much of an idiot, but you should try some Thai food, bro. You might like it. Let me know if you like it.
I mean, I've been to a so-called Thai restaurant and I liked it.
So-called.
I liked it. I just I don't want to assume that it's authentic because a lot of the food here in America is not.
You know what? That's true. And you know what I've learned to do with that, which is totally ignorant? I say, I don't care if it's authentic. I just care if I like it. Who said it has to be authentic?
That's fine. I'll eat at Panda Express.
That's my bad opinion, though. I'm not saying you should be like that. Be like me. But that's kind of what I've come up with. Like, because sometimes I have authentic food. I'm like, I don't want this. They make it American because Americans like it. Go ahead and Americanize it because right? I mean,
it's fine. You just don't call it Chinese food if it's not really Chinese.
Well,
food.
what are you going to call it? I mean, it's what else are you going to
call it? Panda Express. I went to Panda Express. I'm eating at what's the other one? I forget. But
well, this is a Japanese one. With the character from Mario Brothers. It's named after him too. What's that guy in Mario Brothers? The dinosaur?
Luigi?
No,
dinosaur. Dinosaur.
No, he's like green. You like ride him. He
Yoshi.
could be Yoshi. There's a place called Yoshi's. That place is pretty. There's a place. Yoshi's is a chain, right? I think it's a
That's
Japanese restaurant.
Wow.
Yoshi's, yeah. Because I don't really like Panda Express. Oh, we got to talk to Jerome Stubbs. I'm having this ignorant conversation. It's not your fault, Nate. It's all my fault. I'm sorry, but it's kind of your fault because you asked that question. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Jerome Stubbs, you've been here. Can we talk to you? Jerome Stubbs.
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Jerome, what do you like? What do you dislike? What do you want to do and not do?
I love the channel, man. I got no complaints, but I got no complaints.
If you can be a little bit louder so we can hear you, but go ahead. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What do you like? Well, if you like it, what do you like? What do you want more of?
I actually like when you guys are on the street. I want to see the dialogue, the back and forth. It's I feel like it's more. I get more out of it personally, more understanding, and I know what arguments are coming up against us because I wrote in the live chat earlier, but I know some folks tied up in the Hebrew Israelites. So when I see the doctrine at play.
What part of the country are you in, Jerome?
I live in Pennsylvania now, but I'm from Maryland. I'm from the DMV area.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
well,
sir.
I'm glad you've been checking out some stuff. We're having our little 3-year anniversary party, which is partially just us talking nonsense that'll probably get us in trouble later, but we can also talk serious. You know, it depends on what you want to talk about as we try to wind this thing down. But I'm glad you've stopped by tonight for our little party.
Yeah, I wanted to congratulate you, man, on 3 years. Hope God blesses you. You keep going strong.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, we've got one of the best mod squads around. And we also, yep, seriously, we do. And a good community, you know, just good people, good friends, and even people who don't always agree, you know, they're part of it too. I see. To get that book, whoever the author is. And we try to have fun when we're doing our stuff and still be hopefully somewhat educational, you know.
Yeah, something came to mind. The last guy you were interacting with, it was asking, would God call you to talk to evangelize the other races? And I'm like, was Paul not a Jew that went to the Greeks and the Gentiles? Like, it's like it's something outside of what God would do. Like, he would only be specific to keeping people to evangelize to one race. Like,
yeah, he might not be a brother in Christ. You know what I mean? It's hard for me. It's hard for me. I mean, he might be, but if he is, let's pray for that brother. So listen to this. Joshua Maximus is still going.
Still, yeah.
Vocab Malone, you're the apologist to the African Americans in depressed inner city neighborhoods. Who ever said that? This is why I actually need to put out my second book called Apologetics in Context, because I partially talk about this nonsense. What I say is it's a mistake to identify urban with the way you're making it. And it's also a mistake to identify inner city with the way you're making it. Now, there are tricky things.
You made it synonymous with black.
Yeah, but see, so some people might take it that way. I don't, but I'm also not dumb to recognize a key part of what we're talking about here is that, but it's like, it's really city based, you know what I mean? And especially in Phoenix, man, I don't know if people realize like Hispanic, Latino, that's an important part of the city and you can't overlook that. No, that's not what urban means. Okay, got Joshua Maximus, Jonte Jones, all you guys saying this. Let me ask you something. If I say the urban center of Tokyo, what do I mean? You realize that people refer to Tokyo as an urban area, right? I want you guys to tell me what the urban center of Tokyo means. Because it does. What does it mean? This guy changed the meaning of urban. You know, it's funny. Back in the day, I heard people talk and they would say, hey, guys, don't make urban mean poor, disaffected minority, because don't do that. Now these guys want to make it that for whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay.
You're muted, Eric.
Somebody put only white people work at Urban Outfitters. I don't know why that's funny. It's such a random comment.
Thank you, Dinu. Hello.
But but like I say, guys, if it bothers you that much, like what do you guys want me to do? Like you're obviously here. I don't know why you're here. Like we're not really talking about. I mean, what exactly do you want to happen? And it's what is the problem? Look, whatever you do, there's going to be a few guys like me around, and unless you just kill them all, if I disappear, there'll be a guy kind of like me that's still going to be in the mix. It just happens. It's hard to get rid of a couple guys like this. There's always a guy around, at least one. Anyways,
it's really about trying to get you to stop talking. That's really what it is.
Look, Dinu, can vocab hear me?
Yes, sir. We got Jerome, we got Eric, we got Gerard.
Yeah, I'm on. I want to let you know that it's different books as far as I was telling my son this, as far as going back into the Black Hebrew Israelite situation. It's a mess. It's just people, they don't understand. They want to feel like they are, they want to feel like they're good as far as I'm Black, I'm this and that. It's not that deep. I keep telling people that as far as the Tahuti, the look of the guy Tahuti with Killer Priest on his broadcast, it's not that deep. Can you go into that?
Well, everybody on the planet Earth wants to know, who am I? Why am I here? When that has been sort of historically stripped away purposefully by oppressors to the people who came before you, and to a certain extent, here you are now. I think it makes those things more acute. Who am I? And the only real answer, of course, is to understand I'm a human made in the image of God, and that I can be a new creation in Christ. Now, that never should or never does eliminate the ethnic reality that God has given you, because I believe just like there's diversity within the created order that you see, from plants to trees and everything else, God, I believe, is showcasing his creativity. He's showcasing his creativity. Like whenever you see those little things, like, not like it's a small world after all, because that's sort of a stereotypical exhibit.
Right,
when you see things like that, where they show faces of people kind of in their natural, like the place that they tend to live in, with their kind of maybe traditional style of dress, with their like a little face shot. I don't know if you talk about like people all over the world, and they show all these different kinds of people. I always think it's an amazing, beautiful thing. I think it looks so cool. All these different kinds of people, some who I've never seen, some I don't know where this people hail from, or it's a beautiful thing. So I know I'm rambling a little bit, but my point is, like, I think God showcases his creativity with the different types of ways humans can be, from everything from body shape to languages that get developed. Like, people sometimes make fun of like different language things, like, in barbershop when they make fun of the click. I think that's so cool that somebody's language has clicks in it. To me, that's really cool. Like, how did you come up with that? Remember in barbershop, they make fun of it, that the guy who's African, like, but it's actually really cool. Like, just because we can't do it or don't understand it, so I love that.
I want to show you this picture. I don't know how can I do it. I don't know how I can do it, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying by that I never want someone to think that you become a Christian and God erases away your ethnic identity, and now you're a Stepford wife, basically, in your religion. You're all the same with a blank stare. Dress how you dress, as long as it's modest and godly. Use the language, make your food. Like, I think we should lean into how God has made us, or even what we enjoy and stuff like that, because that's part of God's beautiful creative handiwork. And so if, like, Christians should not see someone wearing like a daishiki and think, oh, they must not be a Christian. Like there's people who kind of, I think sometimes, oh, look, they're wearing that. What weird religion are they in? No, that's like, that could be how they like, let them, that's their culture. Like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Christians need to really more and more not think this is weird, this is different. Like, how has God made them? What's the culture God put them in? Because in Acts 17, Paul says God chose the times and seasons and the boundaries of where everybody was. And remember, he was a Jew talking to Greeks there, the Stoics and Epicureans, and in Athens, talking on Mars Hill, right? And so that's a beautiful thing. God has sovereignly chose to make you the way you are and how you are and when you are. So I think we should lean into that because I think it's a beautiful thing. So I think people should see God redeems our ethnicity. He takes it and he cleanses out the bad parts of our culture, because everyone's culture has stuff that's essentially irredeemable or needs to be tweaked. Everyone's culture has stuff that is like this, that may be part of a culture, but we can't embrace that. Or let's filter that through the lens of the gospel, like say machismo in an unbiblical way is part of your culture. Well, what can we do? We can say, here's what biblical manhood is and talk about that, right? So anyways, I think people do need to learn what it means to have identity in Christ. And Eric, that's why my friend Adam Coleman is better on this than me. He's really good at it. He talks about that. The Urban Apologetics book, I don't agree with every little thing in there. Who does agree with everything in any book? But part of that book is trying to show people how they can do that and how that's a reality. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a dignity that God has given to people, and the gospel is what shows people what that means and what that can look like through a biblical lens. So I'm just saying, like, even though the Bible says there's neither Jew nor Greek, there's still Jews and Greeks. Now we're all one in Christ. It's not saying there's no distinction because they're still called Jews and Greeks. It's just saying that the main thing is our identity in Christ, but then we celebrate, I think, our beauty together. And that's why in Revelation, why doesn't the Bible say in Revelation, every nation, tribe, tongue? Why doesn't it say like there was just one? You know what I'm saying? Even at heaven, it appears we'll still be speaking maybe different languages. Now, maybe we understand each other, or there'll be a universal language we have access to. I don't know, but the Bible says every tongue, or it could just mean that's the background of people, but it seems to indicate they're still utilizing even the tongues that God gave them in the sense of language. We're preserving, even in heaven, a sense of the ethnic reality God has given us. And I think that's a good thing. But I'm kind of going off. I don't know. I don't want to say too much about that because it is hard for me because I can't act like I'm something I'm not. And there's people who are better to speak about some of these things. Dr. Tony Evans, Eric Mason. Like, I have a limit to where I think, I should kind of where I can go with really being authentic and whatever. And I think some people are better at some of those things. And I'm glad that they're here for the church.
Okay.
What up? What's up, Jerome?
I want to give you a little background, little testimony.
Yes, sir.
So I grew up, right? I grew up in the church in a sense. My family we grew up Christian, right? I was professing Christian. So I was one of those people that I would tell you, yes, I'm Christian. I would tell you I'm Christian, but I couldn't tell you anything about the faith or the belief, right? So I started to notice some guys getting it, speaking some rhetoric, using the Bible, speaking some rhetoric, right? And I messaged a couple of them. We went to school together, and come to find out, it was Hebrew Israelites, right? They were Hebrew Israelites. I knew it was off. I couldn't explain the faith fully, right? But I knew enough that I was like, this is off. Something's wrong. So I stumbled upon your videos, doing some research, and then you know how people say a lot of like people in cults or Hebrew Israelites or whatever, they get caught up going down a rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny because I think it goes both ways. God kind of used the rabbit hole of apologetics to get me to know my faith. So I stumbled across you. And then I found the UA community, and then I found other apologetics outside of UA. Started watching videos with, guys that specialize in Islam, guys that specialize in, and as I'm watching this, I'm gaining more of a thirst and a knowledge. And then all of a sudden I'm realizing like, man, the Bible was more, there's more to the Bible and more to my faith than just saying I'm a Christian. I didn't know, I couldn't tell you that there was a Great Commission before going down this rabbit hole, so to speak. I didn't know that I was supposed to be able to give a defense. I didn't know I was supposed to love God with my mind and actually know what I'm professing to believe in.
Right.
But early on, I knew just enough that I knew that wasn't right. And one of the first, I would say the first domino to fall, or the entry to the rabbit hole of me actually diving into my faith and stumbling upon some of your work. So that's why I wanted to call in and say thank you, man. I know you would give credit to God being a godly man, and I give all credit to God too, but I just want to encourage you because of the work that you're doing. It was the entry to that rabbit hole of me actually going out and seeking knowledge and being able to define my faith and know who God is, start to know his character. And these are like things I couldn't talk a biblical language before I encountered something that I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right, but I knew enough that I wanted to believe, or I did believe, that I should be able to defend what I believe. And I don't like people coming against something or misrepresenting. None of us would misrepresenting something you hold deep in the heart.
That is amazing to hear. Praise God for that. And I'm glad to be, in the team, Dinu and Nate are just two representatives. We got a whole squad. And I know all of us would be glad to be, part in any way of your journey, especially as an entry point into other stuff. So that's good. I hope it sparks like a lifelong desire and passion for you to just stay on the grind and constantly learning and constantly sharing your faith. So that's beautiful to hear, Jerome. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, sir. I jump on Christians and Hebrew Israelites page sometimes. I think that might be DK's page on Facebook. It's a discussion page with Christian Hebrew Israelites. And the original guys that I said I knew personally, I still am in touch with them sometimes. So we'll DM sometimes, or of course they love to post their memes and doctrine and all that. So man, I've over these last, I'll say 2 years, 3 years, we've had some real, which is good, public discussion. People will ask me sometimes, why you bother to go back and forth with them? I'm like, it's not. I'm like, if God work in them, it's great, fantastic. If they so caught up in the doctrine where he's taking their hand off, just taking his hand away from them, I still need to engage with them because people are reading this. There's a lot of other people that are seeing this that could easily be beguiled by it. So I watch you guys. I learn where to go, which script, what they all follow the same script. Obviously, they're reading precept, they're not reading Bible. So I know where to go and how to defend it, how to explain it. Explain actually the gospel and what's going on, context, culture. First century Judaism, second century Judaism.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to learn, isn't there? But I'm glad to hear that. You're starting to dive into some of that. That's good. So, I mean, you feel called to, specific ministry or any kind of particular things you think the Lord has for you to do as you go forward?
I don't know if there'll be a specific lane for me yet. I mean, I definitely feel like there's more to the life of a Christian than just saying, okay, now I believe I'm good, I'm saved, and leave it at that. I definitely feel like there's a commission for all of us. Make disciples of all men and all nations. I feel like we gotta profess the gospel. I feel like you can't be ashamed. You gotta be vocal and put your faith in God, no matter where it's at or what's going on. It's funny because, even at my work, my job situation, I work for a big box retailer, right? I won't say their names, but the CEO, he'll drop little, things. Sometimes he'll send us stuff and he'll say, God, but everybody says God nowadays, But we found our brothers and our sisters in our specific stores, like whatever stores I go work in, that'll call the name of Jesus. They'll call Christ, by name. And I feel like that's what we need to do. Just boldly profess the name wherever we're at, and have enough faith that if it comes against us, if somebody comes against us, the enemy comes against us, it's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know if I have a specific lane yet. I just feel like teach the gospel wherever you are. Wherever God has you, it doesn't matter. I work in retail. I come across thousands of people all the time. So, I meet people on a daily basis. And I think my lane right now is just every one of those people be an example or share the gospel. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a good start, man. I'm glad that Lord's brought you this far with this stuff. Praise God, man.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Well, let's see. We've got Eric B. We got Jerome. We got Gerard. We got Nate Dinu. Nate Dinu, you guys been holding down the whole time. We kind of need to get out of here. It's getting late now. It's turning into midnight on the West Coast too. So this is a different kind of 3-year anniversary. It was kind of experimental, but I think it worked out just about right. Dinu, Nate, you guys want to say anything? Nate's just trying to get me in trouble tonight, I feel like. Asking me all these, questions. I'm just kidding. I think you only asked one question, but Nate, would you like to hear Dinu's comments on your pants?
No, we're going to sidebar later.
Because I think he wants to know what you think of his pants.
I mean, she can speak freely.
Apparently all she can do is laugh. I don't know. I'm not laughing. I can control myself, Nate. See how I am?
Sure.
All I've done is recommend Thai food to you.
Because I'm wearing a tie?
Yes. Speaking of that, you know that a lot of their warriors were in Star Wars, right? TIE fighters.
Silence of the Lambs.
When it rains in Seattle, Nate, go into a Thai restaurant, ask for Tom Yum soup. You'll be so happy you did it. You'll be like, oh, Tom Yum is perfect. Don't eat the bark. There's like bark in it. There's like pieces of wood and hard leaves. You're not supposed to eat that though, okay?
Mm.
You'll notice, you'll see it when you get to it. Just don't eat it. And have them include the chicken in it. And just don't eat the bark. It just adds flavor only.
I just got to interject. One of the worst things I've ever tasted was chrysanthemum tea. I don't know if you've ever had that, but it's one of the most disgusting drinks. And it was probably worse. I had raw zebra once. It wasn't as bad as that, but it was
couldn't you just have normal zebra? Why does it have to be raw zebra?
Ooh.
I don't know if normal zebra. Well, actually, probably would.
Here's some zebra, but which is exotic enough, right? But no, I've got to eat it raw.
Oh, it was disgusting. It was worse than chicken hearts, which I really don't like either. But
and here, yeah, I mean, geez, man. The strangest thing I had was lengua, which is a cow tongue on a taco, but it actually wasn't bad. It just is weird to see it on a menu. So I was like, okay, I get the lengua. It actually is not bad.
You ate that?
Yeah, it's like they cut it up into pieces. It's not a tongue sitting on a taco. They cut it up like normal meat. So you wouldn't necessarily know unless they told you you ordered lengua.
And
so
you won't eat shrimp.
I don't like shrimp. It's gross. So, and also it's unbiblical. So there's that, I gotta keep the law.
Seafood
Ribs are not unbiblical. Yeah, I'm Sicilian. See, and I'm supposed to like seafood apparently.
Vocab.
because they be making all the seafood. I pass. I don't eat all that weird stuff. They be making weird stuff like the seafood soup they make. And they put like for the Feast of the Seven Fishes, they'll put like 7 kinds of fishes in this soup. No, thank you. So I don't even know about that side of the Sicilian stuff because I'm not eating any of that. Like in this, you ever seen The Sopranos? Tony Soprano's always like eating clams or whatever. Like, oh no. Wait,
Jim
what's up?
Gaffigan has a great bit about seafood.
But lengua, but you know the time I ate lengua? It was at the same time when Dirt. Remember we talked to, oh wait, you guys weren't here for that. That was the previous interview. Anyways, my homeboy, his name is Dirt. Like went to the Mexican restaurant and he ate the little worms that they put in a bag that are like dry that they sell for humans because they sometimes put them in tequila, but they sell them for snacks in Mexican spots. He just ate the whole thing of the little bugs. And I was like, bro, man, you can start sprouting wings, bro. Yeah, so my weird thing was to get the lengua. But okay, Eric B, what's up? You said you had to say one more thing. I'm so sorry we devolved. What's up, Eric? Before we go, Eric B, Rakim. Eric, did you? Eric, you know I got a bunch of sound effects on here.
Yeah, I thought you weren't gonna have any.
No, I don't have my sound effects. I have my voice effects. So check this out. Hey yo, D-New, how are you? And then wait a minute, let me make this crazier. D-New.
Come to Streamologist Live. I'll get you, my pretty.
It's like the Satan voice in a Carmen video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to Carmen.
Target Carmen. You'll get him.
Oh, yes, my master.
We need to stop Carmen. This records. It's causing major damage to the kingdom.
I know. His last concert was sold out.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly Carmen. That last one, second last.
See what I'm saying? And then I can do distortion. This one's kind of weird though. So what you want? Oh, and then there's this. Welcome to Freedom Radio, the show where we teach you how to stop the government. Yay! Oh, some pirate radio, some like alt-right pirate radio, you know, that's what that was. Something like that. Anyways, I got a few, you know. Yep. Okay, guys, we need to go. Hey, much love to everybody. Thank you, D-New. Nate holding it down.
Hey.
What's up, Eric?
What's going on?
We're about to take off because it's been a long time.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, I just thank you all for everything. And hopefully these brothers out here in Chicago, they'll wake up. You know, what can we say? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, you know, because I was real heavy into that. And it's shameful. It's just shameful. You know what I'm saying? It's just shameful.
Can I ask
Amen.
you? Oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask what got you out of it? What was there a specific event or realization? What was the process?
You know what, sister? It was just, you know, I work with the United States government, so it was just a little bit of that as far as me dealing with a lot of people, you know, from different countries and this and that. It's just shameful. You know, I don't know. It's just, I really don't know. It's just like, then when I really start listening to vocab, and I was talking to my son about it, I say, you know, vocab bringing out a lot of good information. and we got to talking about it, back and forth, this and that. And he said, well, why do you feel that way? The same way that you asking me. I said, well, I don't want to hate other people. I really don't. So I just, that's my story, and I'm just sticking to it.
Brother, I hope to maybe see you sometime in Chicago. Thank you, Dean New, for asking that, and thanks Eric B for stopping by, and Jerome too. Thank you for your testimony. I feel like we got some beautiful testimonies from Jerome and Eric. And Gerard, thanks for breaking it down about what's going on in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I got to get a soundboard for once that, or either a more appealing background for my live streams when in the future.
Yeah, definitely get a soundboard. There's all kinds of, I have like a basic one, but you can do all kinds of things on your soundboard.
You know what, vocab? I want to ask you something about John 8:44.
Okay. I have to give you a quick answer. What do I think about it? Well, you just want to know like a quick kind of breakdown of the scripture?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in John chapter 8, and we have Jesus talking to the Pharisees, and then he is speaking to only some of the Jews there. So it says Jews, of course, but we understand that these are not everybody, because some believe in Jesus. But
right.
In the middle of this conversation, he says, you are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. So if you go all the way back to Genesis chapter 3, Yahweh, when he approaches Cain, after when Cain is like basically being tempted in his mind or in his heart to kill his brother Abel, God says to him, sin is crouching at your door. Depends on what translation you read, but it's like it's ready to pounce on you. And I think that helps us see that there's a temptation process there. There's this essentially satanic temptation, much like with his parents that happened. And it seems like obviously he gave into it, because the devil did incite Cain to kill Abel. And the interesting thing about John 8:44, if you understand that reference kind of shows Satan's heart from the beginning, if you want to put it that way. In 1 John 3:12, so this is an epistle, he says, we should not be like Cain, who was of the evil one and murdered his brother. Why did he murder him? Because his own deeds were evil and his brothers were righteous. So notice, though it says that this is John's work as well. He says Cain, who was of the evil one. So there, John is describing Cain as also being of the devil. He's of the evil one. And so this is sort of basically
Wait. You said what? Who was of the devil?
Of the devil, in the sense that he's listening to the devil, that he's following the devil.
But who did you say?
First John 3:12 is talking about Cain.
Okay, cool. Okay, I got you.
And that seems to be a clear way for the text to draw you back to Genesis, to show you that ever since the devil's been at work, he has been about murder. He's been about killing. That's who he is. And that's why he tempted Cain to do what he did. And that's, I think, 1 John 3:12 confirms that. Just saying that, because you asked about John 8:44, it says you are of their father, the devil, and your will is to your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning. So this shows how the devil was a murderer from the beginning in relationship to him getting Cain. Not that Cain had to do it, but tempting him to kill his brother Abel. So murder from the beginning. And 1 John 3:12 says that, and it confirms that that's what it's saying, because it says also Cain, who was of the evil one. It doesn't mean that Cain, because there's people who get into this, is literally in some strange way the seed of the devil. To be frank, the devil does not have genitalia. The devil may have masculine pronouns applied to him, but he is a spirit being, not a physical being. He has a metaphysical, existential reality. He's there if you want to understand that as his existence, but he's not physical. So that's why Jesus, remember, said this: in heaven, we're not going to have marriage or given marriage. You'll be like the angels in heaven. Well, if we understand demons and the devil essentially is fallen angels, they're not procreating, having sex. So Cain's not literally of the seed, the devil, but he's of his same attitude, his mindset, his same type of actions that he's into. You are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desire. So Jesus is constantly talking about him doing his father's will, in John especially. In the Gospel of John, he says, I came to do my father's will, blah, blah, blah. So he's contrasting that. So Jesus does what the Father tells him, whereas these Jews who disagree with Jesus, they're doing what their father, the devil, is leading them to do, which is the opposite of God's will. You're of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning. It does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. And so what that means there is that the realm, the mindset that the devil lives and acts and thinks in is pure deception, pure lies. And so these folks, Jesus is saying, you're in that same way. Your whole kind of world, the whole way you look and process, it's filled with deception and lies. There's no truth in you. He is the father of lies. Jesus says that about the devil, the father of lies. Remember, right in the beginning, right before the fall.
Wait. Let's hold on. Let's hold on. While we get an audience. Hold on.
Oh, we need to go because it's been late. So let's do this quick.
No. Wait. We got to bag up a little bit.
Okay.
But the fact of the matter is that Satan and the devil, we have to talk about as far as in the scriptures, it's not the same thing as far as in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So we can go back and forth with John 8:44, and we can look at and I want you to write this down. You got a pen? You got a pen? Yeah, write this down. Matthew 16:22 through 26. When Christ called Peter a devil, as Satan, a Hashan. And then when you look at Zechariah 3:2, so we got to definitely rap about this. Me, you, and D New. You heard? And like I told you, I'm out here in the shop. So whenever you want to talk about it, we could sit down and talk about it, because it's a lot of things that brothers have brought up, and sisters. I could say this as well. And like I told my son, I say it's a lot of things that we have to review again, because it's not the same thing.
Brother, I didn't bring up Satan. I mean, that's a different discussion. I've only used the word devil. So, but the text does say
devil.
The text does say Satan, devil in the beginning, right?
Right.
Well, I believe that that's the case, but you were saying it's different. But I'm saying even if that was the case, which I don't necessarily agree with, I've only said the devil because the text only says the devil. So the devil was there in the beginning, and John is saying that. And remember, what did the devil do right away? Did God really say? Hath God
I want you to read
said?
this then.
So he's also contradicting God's word from the beginning, so it shows he's a liar. And these folks are like that as well.
I want you to read this. Get that Job 42 and 11.
Well, what was going on in John 8:44 that we needed to look at it, and why don't you want to look at it anymore? What was the question you're trying to get?
No, I wanted to say that Satan is a man or a being. It's not some type of a person that's running around while you sleep, or Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, but the Bible does say that the devil runs to and fro seeking whom he may devour. So he is a person who runs.
Where is that at?
I don't know. It's in Peter, but give me a second. I'll give the exact reference. It says that he goes to and fro seeking whom he may devour. Let's see. Yeah, 1 Peter 5:8. And it's interesting. It also uses the terms adversary there. So here's 1 Peter 5:8, brother. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. So you said it's not like the devil runs around while you sleep. Well, he is a guy who runs around while you sleep, like a lion.
Yeah, well.
But what are you trying to say? What do you mean? You're trying to say he's a man? The devil has you're trying to say he's a man? But how did the devil enter Judas then if he's a man?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Because you remember the text says in John that the devil entered Judas, right?
Yes.
So how did he enter him if the devil is a man?
But listen, okay, because I wanna rap with you, brother.
Okay.
I wanna rap with you. I don't wanna cause this because I came from out of this. As far as arguing with brothers, I can't. When I told you earlier, I came from out of this, so I just want to rap with you. So just listen to me. Get Zephaniah 3 and 2.
Brother, I will, but I'm trying to understand because I brought up some verses that seem to be different than what you were saying, but you don't want to deal with those.
But our understanding is understanding, brother. As far as being in the scripture, that's what you can look at Proverbs 4 and 7.
Wait, why are you just bringing up all these random scriptures? I'm confused. What's happening?
No, I'm saying is that we're breaking bread with one another. Iron sharpen iron, right? Proverbs 27 and 17. Iron sharpen iron. That's all it is, brother.
Zephaniah 3:2. Did you say Zephaniah 3:2?
Yeah.
She listens to no voice. She accepts no correction. She does not trust in the Lord. She does not draw near to her God. Okay.
Zephaniah 3 and 2. Is that it? With Satan?
Yeah. Zephaniah 3:2 says she listens to no voice.
Okay, maybe
She
I
accepts
may
no
be wrong
correction.
with that.
She does not
Maybe
trust
I
in the
may-
Lord. She does not draw near to her God. So
Okay, maybe I may be wrong with that one, but I'm
Okay.
not sure if I'm pretty sure Satan and the Satan of the New Testament is something different.
something different than what though?
As far as somebody when you sitting around thinking that if I do wrong, that it's a devil or somebody else,
No.
Go
No,
ahead.
what? No. Well, no Christian that knows the scripture can ever say that why ever they did what they did is because the devil made me do it. The devil tempts, right? And sometimes we act like we're in league with him, but ultimately it's because you give in to the temptation of Satan, right? That's the choice that Cain made against Abel.
Wait. So
What is
you
happening?
telling me if you do something wrong, vocab. Come on, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. If you do something wrong, it's because of Satan.
No, I literally just said the opposite. I'm saying no Christian who knows his theology well, no Christian who knows her theology well can say Satan made me do it or the devil made me do it, as the phrase goes, because the devil can tempt, but ultimately he's not the one pulling the trigger. He's not in control of humans in that way. The person held responsible is the human. Remember, though, God, he distributes responsibility in the right way. He's a righteous judge. Remember when he comes down in Genesis chapter 3, he says, why did you eat what I told you not to eat? And Adam blames the woman, which is what, we men do. When we get in trouble, we blame the woman that you gave me. So he's kind of blaming God. He's kind of blaming God. The woman, well, hey, did you tempt your husband with this, whatever? Oh, well, that Satan, that serpent over there, he like made me think it was cool. And so then if you look in Genesis 3, God gives essentially judgment to all three of them. So to the man got his judgment, the woman got her judgment, and the snake got his judgment. So what I'm saying is they're held responsible for the role they play within that. And that's why we need to be born again, so we don't get the same judgment that was originally reserved for the devil and his angels, right?
Well, let me ask you this. Get Job 42 and 10 and see what you think about that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just asking. We just building back and forth, just as far as, like I told you, I've been dealing with apologetics since 2005. So
yeah, I'm just trying to understand what we're doing. And the Lord restored the fortunes of Job when he had prayed for his friends, sorry. And the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Job 42 and 10.
Yeah, 42 and 10 through 11.
On 11. Then came to him all his brothers and sisters and all who had known him before, and ate bread with him in his house. And they showed him sympathy and comforted him for all the evil the Lord had brought upon him. And each of them gave him a piece of money and a ring of gold.
So who brought the evil?
Who brought the evil? Oh, the Lord's in charge of evil. In fact, he's in charge of the evil one.
Wait. Slow down. Read.
I need to slow down. I said the question. I said the answer, then I stopped talking.
42 and 11. Read 42 and 11.
Brother Eric, I just read it. I just read it to you, and I think you're not understanding what I'm saying. This shows you that God is in charge of evil, and he's in charge of the evil one. What I mean is no evil happens without his watchful eye being aware. And from my perspective as a Reformed person, even that he is ordained. Now, the way he accomplishes that in whatever situation it is through secondary means, meaning that even the devil is God's devil. The devil can't
wait. You
the
said
devil.
What? Wait. You said wait.
The devil ultimately has to submit to God, and he can't do anything that God doesn't allow him to do. And notice that God is the one who started up this situation in Job. Right? What does God say? Well, Job 1 is important because if you notice, Satan didn't bring anybody up, right? Satan is just chilling being a Satan, right?
Okay.
But listen to this. Check this out. This is crazy the way God is right here. It throws us off.
I give a hey, listen, vocab. Vocab. Listen, bro. Listen. I want you to get with me because I'm knocking down these brothers in the chat. I'm not. Trust me, bro. Like I told my son, listen, just hear me out.
What does that to do with this? Because it sounds like you're trying to. What it sounds like is you're trying to promote the Lex the Vortex thing that Satan is Jesus or one of those things he puts out.
No. I'm not with no Napasha, bro. I didn't listen to all of them.
Are you saying that Satan is God?
No, what I'm saying is that Satan, how can you say it? Satan came in the scriptures from Zoroastrianism.
What? Who was it? What?
Zoroastrianism.
Oh, you're doing the old Karen Armstrong thing. You're claiming that the Jews picked up the concept of the devil when they were with the Persians, and it's from Zoroastrianism. I did a whole show on this with the brother JP Holding. That brother, that is what liberal theologians say, because they can't accept the idea that there's a created being who has their worst interests in mind and hates God and is a real factor in this world. They're not going to get with that idea. So what they look for is the development theologically of the evolution of Satan. And the standard academic understanding from a non-Christian perspective is that the Jews basically ripped off elements of Satan especially from the Zoroastrian religion, rather. So I know what you're talking about, but that's not biblical. I don't think that's a good description at all. And the reason they do that is because of the presupposition that there really couldn't be a being like Satan in the first place. But the Hebrews didn't rip off their understanding of Satan from Zoroastrianism. If you even really look at Zoroastrianism's evil characters, I don't even think it's a really good match. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a good match at all. But that you could never demonstrate that from the scriptures either. You couldn't show this supposed development in any meaningful way from the scriptures, I don't think. But here's the other thing, brother. The Bible's Old and New Testaments, right? Put it together. So the Old Testament, Satan, the Hashatan, he's way less defined. I will agree with you on that if that's all you're trying to say. In the Old Testament, it's not exactly clear who he is, It's little by little you learn more about this murky character, right? And then by the time you get to the New Testament, especially at the end of the book of Revelation, you've learned a whole lot more. Do you know everything? No, but you know what the Lord wants you to know because he's revealed it in the scripture. And you have a lot more understanding when you put together who is this character that is described in various ways. And I think it's clear that he is described as the accuser, Satan, and the devil as well. But that's not his only names. He's given other names as well, great serpent, blah, 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 blah. And you put that together, and then you can essentially do a theology of Satan. And you can also do a theology of the demons, right? And Christians have some disagreements about that. But the idea that it's a ripoff you really are at that point casting out the Bible as being a divinely inspired document, because you essentially have it being borrowed from pre-existing culture as opposed to being a truth that God has revealed directly. So if that's your view, maybe I could send you some resources on that, but you won't get me to agree that the Zoroastrians are what influenced the Judeo-Christian concept of the devil or the Satan.
Can I say that in 2 hours, I'll have been up for 24 hours?
Dang, girl. The green shirt must keep you going.
Green, God's color.
Eric B, can we go? Let's get with this later, man, because this is a little long, and I just wanted to wrap this up, but this is kind of a different thing. And
I wanted to wrap with you all, and as far as just going a little bit deep, because like I said, I dealt with the brothers, out here, and as they called it, quote unquote, Chirac. And one thing about it, man, I love you all. And D New, I know I don't have an avatar because I'm a little bit slow. D New, don't beat me up. No, don't beat me up. But I don't have that. But I know my man, I forgot his name, the brother that you deal with, Vocab, that's in Bolingbrook. Oh man, I can't forget that man. He deal with Israel Doctrine. But anyway,
Israel Doctrine is cool, people.
No. I was gonna say, what's the brother name?
G-Con?
Yeah, G-Con. Yeah, G-Con. Yeah, G-Con. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know D New over there. She just picking her hands because I've been I've been getting that vocab. But you know what? I always get at the brothers from Sarnetta TV, and I'm gonna leave y'all alone.
But Eric, hopefully you're not on there telling them that the Bible ripped off Satan from Zoroastrianism, because that's what they already think. Those guys on Sarnetta and all that, they tap into white liberal scholarship, and that is literally the same kind of thing they'll say. They'll be like, oh man, the Satan's not even an original character in the Bible. You rip that off from other cultures because the Bible's a mismatch, da da da. I mean, they'll be like, yeah, they're gonna agree with you on that one.
Well, let me get this then. D New, give me 1 Samuel 2:6.
I will not get it for you. I will not get it for you.
Vocab, give me 1 Samuel 2:6.
I put the link for the show, the Zoroastrian show. You can go ahead and check it out, Eric, and we're gonna reconvene.
Yeah,
at a later date.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna go, Eric B, because this timer up here says 2 hours and 59 seconds.
That's
so
long.
Shout out to everybody.
All right.
God bless.
But thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all read first Samuel 2:6. You heard?
All right.
Before y'all go to bed, and just think about, I ain't know nothing else. Just think about that. 1 Samuel 2:6.
All right. Peace out, y'all. Yeah. God bless. We can't even do the outro today. I just got to hit the end button because I don't have any of my tricks. We're on this, and it's just it's Zoom, so it's whatever.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Meet us on the 4th year, 365 days from now.
And we got
around approximately.
We've been around 3 years, and that's like a Brooklyn thing to say tree instead of 3.
Yeah,
you
know that. Yeah,
I can't even do a proper Brooklyn accent, which is embarrassing since I was born there. But
well, just say tree instead of 3, and
yeah, you don't meet those type of people anymore. That's the sad part.
There's less and less of them. I've been hearing.
Yeah.
That. They say the Brooklyn accent's going to disappear.
Probably.
Just like us. We're about to disappear.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace.